Warning, Shut Up, Let's Talk contains some rad but heavy language and adult themes and may not be suitable for audiences under 18. Viewer discretion is advised.
Fuck those insects, bitches.
What up, what's going on, everybody? Welcome, everybody, to episode 102 of Shut Up, Let's Talk. Hanging out tonight with MekroniuM.
Yo, what the fuck is up?
What the hell is up, folks? Hanging out with Daniel.
That was awkward because my cable got stuck to my wrist.
Hanging out tonight with Daniel. Hanging out with Joseph of, or Joe.
Joe, yeah.
Not the, who said the other thing?
Who the fuck?
Who said, who is that?
Are you my dad?
A name,
Who the fuck is that
a
guy?
name I've not heard in years. Anyway, man, thank you so much for hanging out tonight, folks.
Yeah.
One of the most interesting, one of the most hype podcasts in a long time. Everybody was like, "This is going to be a good one." So everybody already knew. They already know you guys, man. So thank you for coming on tonight, guys. So what kind of
Thank you.
What do you guys do in the band, man? You can start with Danny. What'd you do, my brother?
Play guitar.
Hell yeah.
I play guitar, write music, a little bit of melodies, fun stuff.
I love it, man.
Music.
You play good guitar, man.
Decent.
You play the good ones.
Thanks, man.
And what about you, Joe? What you up to in MekroniuM, man?
I do things with my voice.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm the performer. You're the
Do
performer.
vocals.
Yeah, man. And I want to say, first of all, the sound of you guys. Before we get into it, we're going to show you guys what they do in a second. But your sound, man, it was me and Paul, or Duke, on Facebook earlier.
Stevenson, right?
Yes.
I was there.
We were going
very
back and
flattered
forth.
by that, man.
And he said, like, great band, you know? Yeah, he was like, great band. I was like, I love their sound because you guys have an awesome sound. A lot of people, I'm not a big fan of the compare game where you describe a sound by comparing them to other bands because that takes away like a little bit from the originality.
I don't mind it.
But
I don't mind it, man.
but yeah, it is a very I don't know. It's a very Korn inspired, but it's not strictly there though. It's like you have your own ballsy style too, man. I love it. I don't know how to describe it. How would you guys describe it?
Animalistic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Primitive.
Primal. Yeah.
Like Mudvayne, man.
I'm not mad
Dude,
at that.
Mudvayne's
I'm not
like
mad at that.
first couple albums are fucking insane.
LD50, man. The first Mudvayne album.
Yes.
No, that's not the first one. It's the second one, technically.
Yeah.
It's a second one.
That one was the best one.
But that one with LD50 was awesome
breakthrough.
because it had my favorite.
Yes. What
Sorry, it was my favorite.
all
My
good.
favorite bass player, Ryan Martini, is on that record.
Yeah, the little
And
devil guy in the video.
Fuck, man.
He's amazing. He's
Dude,
amazing.
Piece of shit.
He's such a good bass player.
Shout out to Warwick. Those basses sound so good. His basses sound amazing. And whoever's real quick, the album that we're talking about, LD50 by Mudvayne, guys. This probably came out 2000, 2001. Came out a little while ago.
It came out during that whole mass costumey shit.
Yes,
It was
yes,
like
yes.
2001, wasn't it?
And
I wish I knew.
and I'm sure that's like an inspiration for you guys because we grew up to that stuff,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how do I say this? Like the way that what I love about their sound was that their audio engineer was amazing, man, because they were doing some really kind of complex stuff, and it's so easy to make their sound. Yeah, it's so easy to make their stuff sound muddy if you handle it wrong.
Yeah.
And I felt like the third album, the End of All Things to Come or whatever it was called, I don't feel like it was mixed as good as the second one.
You know what's anything after LD50 to me just kind of seemed watered down. But I feel like
the first two albums, gold.
Yeah, dude.
I got to hear more of the first one. I actually skipped out on that one.
The very first
The
one.
second one is a shit though.
The second one's awesome, dude. LD50
Cover was crazy, right, with the baby.
Oh yeah, dude, like the baby. They had the little weird
The little cell
genetic
thing, I don't know what
cell
that is,
shit, right? But LD50 is great because it's. I mean, the band is just four people: drummer, guitar, bassist, singer, right?
Sounds like you guys.
Like us. But dude, the way everything is mixed, you hear the bass has its part. It has it's like like a structure to a building, right? You have your drums that you hear crisply in stereo. If that's even a word, crisply.
Sounds good to me.
Crispily, it sounds like something from KFC.
There's
Like their new sandwich.
very, very crisp like.
crisply.
But then you have,
I
like the bass has almost its own role in the band, where it's not just something that's like, traditionally like bass would be like, oh, it's the glue between guitar and bass.
Yeah.
I mean, not guitar and bass. Sorry, guitar.
Guitar and drums.
Yeah, guitar. It's guitar and drums.
It was like its own thing.
But then it just sounds like the way that dude
Straight up.
plays bass. It's like its own style. It has its. That fucking dude just owns that instrument.
I mean,
so incredibly well.
Even in Dig, you know, the song that really broke him out. Like the intro, the Berber ding. You know, yeah, it's just that, like, that's the bass. Like, you know, the ding that we hear, that crazy note, you know, that's a chord on a bass, which you don't even hear that often. You know? So shout out to them. And what I like about it, then, what we're getting to, folks, is that they have such a strong sound, and that translates to your sound, because when I watch your videos and stuff, all I see is like that. All I hear is that wall of sound.
Yes.
You know? yes,
dude.
You cannot contain excitement. I love it. I love it. That's what it's all about.
And that, bro, fuck yeah, dude. I have to agree with you, man, because I love that feeling of you're just getting slammed. You know, like a big stone wall just falling down. You're just
frequency buffet.
Catching all of it at once. It's a frequency buffet.
Yes.
Shit, dude.
That's what it is, man. Just all you could fucking eat.
It's a straight assault.
Let's do that.
I love
That's
it,
what
man.
we want. We want to assault you.
So, you know, let's talk about these live performances.
Maybe not the best thing to say in 2019.
Oh,
we're gonna get shadow banned now. Dude. we're gonna get canceled.
As if I wasn't already. As if I wasn't already at this point. I had a guy on the show that, like, you know, I had shout out to Ruben. You know, this guy brought like 5 guns to the show.
Oh yeah,
no
dude.
shit.
Unloaded, obviously.
Did people give you shit for that?
No. And actually, you know what? It was cool because during that episode, we actually went over, like, you know, if you want to buy one, like, what are the legal, like, what's the paperwork you got to fill out? And we actually looked up the form and actually went through the whole form, and we were like, you know, to educate, like, you know, like, because some people think, like, oh, they just give it to anybody, but it's like, actually, after looking through the form on the show, I didn't know. Actually, you know, you got to go through a bunch of shit to get it. They don't just give it to anybody.
It's pretty stringent, you know. But then it sucks because you do hear about these one and every so often times where, like, someone gets away with easily coming across it. And then that's one of the assholes that ends up doing something fucking stupid. Yeah. And then for people that, you know, like firearms for their, you know, recreational purposes, or, you know, their hunting purposes, or whatever the fuck you're into.
Right.
They're tools. Now you're just kind of like, fuck. Now you're in that category of, great, now I'm going to be lumped in with that jerk off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's true.
It sucks, but...
It's like the metal curse, right? It's like once you get into metal, everybody's like, oh, low life. And it's like, wait. What do you mean? Chill out, man. Yeah. I mean, so how did you guys start getting into, like, music, man? Like what brought you guys... Let's start with Joe. How did you get into, you know, what brought you into music, my man? Like, into the musical world? How old were you? 5, 6?
Shit.
Yesterday, I was...
Actually, heard my first album last night.
2 months ago.
It was pretty cool.
What's that?
It was all right.
Man,
when I was a kid, dude, I used to fucking... I love, like, emotional music, like love songs and whatnot.
Ballads and stuff?
Yeah. Like, like my parents, they're Hispanic.
Yeah,
so they're Cuban, so they like, you know, my mom likes all this fucking old Spanish music, Sandro.
Say it shitty.
No, dude, it's some good ass shit.
Those vocals.
some real awesome fucking instrumentals, and then these dudes like pouring themselves out. When you would watch them live, which my mom would show me like videos of them live, and these dudes are like fucking falling on the floor and shit.
Imagine the crowd. The crowd is just crying, and it's like the crowd is like,
they're like, oh, there's a bunch of women. They love it.
Yeah. Have you seen those videos of like these people crying and like hugging the speakers and like at these concerts? Like, it's like a meme now of like people crying at concerts. And mostly like I don't know why the meme is strictly in Mexico. So mostly they're Mexican women, but yeah, they're like crying during this music, and they're like drinking. You see all these beers, like, and they're just like surrounded by beers. They're just like crying,
dude, because it's.
But it's true because it grabs you, and you're saying yourself,
it makes you fucking feel something, and that's what attracts me to music. Like, that's what I've always liked, is something that showed some kind of emotion. Like, I love love music, and I love tragic music.
I love music.
You know?
I love making.
Well, love and well, it's very interesting, man, because love and tragedy are like two ends of like a coin. You know what I mean? Like they're both so like related because
they're comedy and tragedy, dude. You can't have one without the other.
Exactly, and you need to know. It's one of those things where it's like you need to know. You know, that whole like, is it better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all? You know, which is kind of like I think it is. You know, I think it's better to know what you're missing out on rather than missing out. I don't know.
Is it though?
Because like, I mean, I like the ends of stories. You know what I mean? Like, for example, like The Simpsons, where they just won't stop. You know, like that's cool and everything, but at the same time, I like when shows begin and end.
For sure.
Oh, you know what I mean? Because I like that's a story. That's a story. It inspires people, and you know, giving people the idea that everything lasts forever is kind of like, you know, misleading in my opinion. Not because. emotionally they can, but
but
physically,
like for a show like The Simpsons and for shows in general and stuff like that, like it gets to the point where this just sucks.
How's South Park these days? You mentioned South Park.
Oh, it's fucking awesome. But that's the thing with something like South Park, they don't give a fuck what they do and what they say because they make everything a joke.
Yeah,
everything is funny to them, and they can make episodes within 4 days, so they can see what's going on and make an episode about it.
And I didn't really get into South Park until he brought that point up to me, which because of how easy it is for them to turn around and make something topical. And I mean, I feel that in the realm of comedy, nothing should be taboo.
I'm with you.
Of course not.
I feel that way, right? Like nothing should be taboo.
Free.
I'm with you.
And I listen to a lot of
satire.
Exactly. I listen to a lot of podcasts,
Joke.
and the last ones that one of the most recent ones was Joe Rogan's podcast where he was talking to Donnell Rollins. He's the comedian who's like, I'm rich, bitch, in the Chappelle Show. Dude, great podcast. But he was talking about how he was quoting a dude that said that comedy right now is at its most dangerous when there was a time where it wasn't, because now you're being censored. You're talking about the days where like Lenny Bruce would say a bunch of crazy shit that was like, people were like, what the fuck, you're saying that like on stage, and like everything was built on reputation. Oh, this fucking dude's nuts, like Lenny Bruce, he just says all the crazy shit, right? But then as technology catches up to art, people's acts that they're working out are getting leaked out, like skits are getting leaked out, but prematurely before they're solidified, into a bit that they want to put out to a special, right? And the topic of the podcast, man, was just basically, in summation, was that now is when comedy is becoming dangerous again, like the old times.
Which is a good thing.
It's a super good thing, dude.
Because then you become valuable in that way.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people they confuse intent.
Yeah.
Intent, right? Who said that fucking saying that when it's like the difference between when people agree with you or when people like relate to you, that people when people agree with you, they clap, but then when they relate to you, they go, oh,
it's the reaction,
right? So I don't know, I think that right now comedy, when it comes to that, is like at a very like,
that's a really good
it's
point,
fucking
though.
dangerous again, and I like that, dude. I like that
For sure, because people are offended by everything.
Yeah, man.
Well, bringing this around really quick, I love how this relates to your music as a band, because we're losing.
You're really good at this.
Thank you. I'm just saying, because it's true, man. These days we're losing rock and metal little by little, right?
Yeah.
And in a day and age where you don't get to see that kind of stuff anymore, you guys are putting on these awesome live shows with this wall of sound, with the cool, the epic, the body scar performances and things like that, and which we're going to get into in a second. You're breaking those boundaries, which is what you're supposed to do. In art, you're supposed to evoke emotion, whether it's positive or negative. And when you evoke negative emotion, guess what? You're tapping into a part of somebody. The only reason people don't like it is because they hate themselves for a second.
Yeah.
Shit, you know what? That's fucking ace, dude.
Yeah. Interesting. Marinate on that, everybody, while I bring the chat up, because I realized I did not bring up the chat. There's a unified chat.
Oh shit.
And we should be there. You go.
What are they saying?
Who knows? Let's see what there is to see once it's
loaded. They say don't read the comments. Bullshit.
No, the comments. I love it. The comments are that's what drives interaction, and that's what that's what makes you guys
conversation,
cool.
Man.
Yeah, that's what the great thing about you guys is that even if you guys have not put out a full project yet, or music videos or any of this kind of stuff, right? Do you guys have a music video out?
There's one, but we probably won't.
Because when I said it, I was like, wait a minute, yeah. But okay, anyway, so
yeah.
Thinking about it, the way that everything, the way that you guys are doing everything now, it's like I forgot the fuck what I was saying.
Something about
unified chat, the comments. You know what? Before you guys have even put out a project, everybody is talking about you guys. Yeah. Everybody's like, they're a fucking cool band. Oh man, have you seen that performance? Have you seen them live though? And that's what everybody tells me when I bring you guys up. They're like, yeah, but have you seen them live? And actually, I haven't had the pleasure yet.
Fuck. But next one, you got to come through.
Absolutely. And. I think that's great, man. You want to build
fucking Lou, fucking eggplant.
Hey,
what the fuck, dude?
Thanks, man.
Awesome. He's a sweetheart.
The hard-hitting topics, if you know what I mean.
It's Lou from Born Beneath. What's up, bud?
Shout out,
Yo, brother,
Love
fucking
that,
love Lou.
shout out, Lou, and shout out to all the metal bands. Shout out to all the metal bands in the
Everybody.
scene right now, because you know what? I hate using the word "the scene" because it's such a like, ooh, it's such a like, it's like a wet umbrella. It's like, oh,
A wet umbrella?
yeah, because then it just like it gets like all these little drops get on you, and you
Maybe like
start,
a wet
you start
blanket.
feeling funny. A wet blanket would also suck too, but you know, I don't know. I like, yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Okay,
I'll take the wet blanket.
I don't mean to critique you.
No. I'll take the wet blanket. I'll take the wet blanket.
That's sick. Take the wet umbrella.
Give me the wet blanket. But
Yeah.
what the hell were we talking about?
You were talking
Something or the other.
I don't know. That's gonna be the fun of this
you
episode.
were talking about our show and how people were talking about us.
Shout out to the metal bands is what I was
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
Shout out to the metal bands in the local area here. You know, and you guys are, my opinion, you guys are not a local band. You're only local because you're local to me. But calling you guys a local band, like I would never. You know what I mean? Like I thought about it recently because I was talking about I was doing an advertisement or like a post for the Shut Up Let's Talk or something or no sorry, I'm bugging. Somebody asked me to change their brother's biography because it was a friend of mine and her brother's a musician but he's not so good with the English. So she was like, hey, can you help him out? Check his biography out. He wrote it. Can you just fix it? And he wrote himself. He's like, you know, such and such, you know, has been in the music scene for a while and played with many local bands. And I deleted the word local. Because I was like, you know what? Don't call them local. Yeah, you've already diminished yourself to one little state, town, whatever local means to you. Yeah. You're a band.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter where you are. Local is just a perception. Like, you're local to me because, yeah, we're in the same room.
Change our bio when we get back.
Oh,
I don't think I have anything local.
But you know what?
Get back.
Yeah. I don't know about this shit.
But you know what? Writing your own bio is a curse in general, isn't it? I hate that. You know, because I've had to do it for myself, and I hate writing about myself in third person. I hate that. Because it feels better when somebody can tell you.
Is great.
You're like,
Alizar types well.
There we go.
Perfect.
Perfect bio. Period.
Never heard of him. But anyway, you know what? I was
sweaty balls.
sweaty ball syndrome. I'm sorry, guys.
Nah, dude.
We should really quick bring up some of the music because I would love for everybody to see what you guys do really quick. I would like for us to bring up your YouTube channel.
Yeah, because we don't have any music recorded, so
We'll get to that soon. Yeah.
Absolutely.
we're working on that now. Actually,
So
we got drums done.
Which one of these videos would you like to play?
Which one of them is Vapid, dude? Put that one
No,
first.
do the third one.
There you go.
Oh shit.
Oh, sweet.
There was a lot of feedback on.
Yeah, there was. Why is there feedback? Actually, give me 1 second.
Well, actually, no. That was feedback from the guitar.
Oh, my bad. I thought is that playing inside the headphones?
Yeah.
Oh,
Was it?
No, was it? I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is. Damn, that sounds like it's outside.
Nah, it's here.
Hey, check you guys out.
Ah,
Lucha.
Anybody want to know the beats?
Kevin.
That's Lucha
I
on
forgot the
bass.
fucking pictures. Fuck, man.
I'll be right back.
That's our song, Vapid. Oh, the fucking cat dog. He lives in here with a live podcast, you know that?
Ooh.
Maybe he turned off.
That cat is gonna kill me.
Maybe he turned off the volume. They can't hear us, right? They can't? Fuck, man!
You brought the whole thing here.
I fucking love that song. And not because it's ours, but...
Sorry, guys. I should have turned it up. Cheers, fellas.
Hey, we have the best rhythm section, I swear to God.
Hell yeah.
Kevin and Lucha, fuck, man.
Those
You
guys
can't
are
fuck with
fucking
that.
ace as shit. Ace is a motherfucker.
Here it comes. I love that our songs are short. Just get to the point. 2.5 minutes. All of them.
Hey. Oh,
Shit.
Christ almighty.
All of that shit went all over Kevin. Like a huge chunk.
We gotta rewind it and look at how, well, when the song's over, at how hard. Hold on, here it goes. If you can, rewind it to when Joe breaks the light bulb on his head and look at the big shard that flies at Kevin's right here.
Motherfucker doesn't even stop.
This is amazing.
Look at the shard.
Oh my God.
Look at, here he goes. Watch. Look at Kevin. Look at Kevin.
Oh shit.
And he doesn't miss a beat, dude. It just goes
An enormous shard.
Shards first, like an ice pick, and he just went.
All right, guys, that was MekroniuM with Vapid. Live performance right there. You guys got to see some of what we were talking about.
Cool.
And yeah, that is some of the boundary breaking stuff that I was talking about a second ago, is the fact that you guys are pushing past some stuff, man. You guys are not just up there like jamming, you know, like just, I don't know, just standing there riffing. You know, you guys are putting on a performance. And you know what? Part of what, you know, we do, even us here right now, you know, we perform, you know what I mean? It was really interesting because I was watching an interview with the stand-up comedian, with the one of the actors from Family Matters, from the 90s
Oh,
show,
wow.
Family
Yeah.
Matters. And he was talking about how, you know, he was like, oh, you know, the interviewer was like, oh, you know, how do you feel about being an entertainer today in today's day and age or whatever? And he's like, well, I'm not an entertainer, you know? He's like, I was.
Right.
He's like, He's like, I've matured. He said he's matured to a point where he's not there to entertain you anymore. Mm-hmm. He's a performer. Whether you like it or not, he's performing. Yeah. And he said that it's not just about that. He said no matter what you tell him to do, it's not just being an artist. It's about being a person. Like, that's just what you do. You either perform or you, whatever. He said no matter what you give him, if you tell him to be a janitor, he's going to perform and be the best janitor you ever seen.
Yeah.
You give him a guitar, he'll learn it and be a performer. So it's about it's a mentality thing, which I thought was really cool.
Right.
It's adapting to what. Yeah, what's thrown at you?
Exactly, dude. Yeah. Exactly. And it's about how you're gonna attack it too, you know? I don't know, man. I've been playing a lot of Ninja Gaiden lately.
Game analogy.
Which
you know,
one?
Speaking of it, the one for the Xbox, like the one that was not the old school one, which I really want to actually play those because I never got a chance to back in the day.
The first one is fucking awesome.
Was it on Sega?
It was on Nintendo. Well, I played it on Nintendo. I'm sure Sega had it, but we always had Nintendo.
Because I don't know why I never got into it because I thought I would have loved that game. Like,
it's good,
had I known about it back in the day.
Fucking awesome.
I have no comment on video games, dude. I'm video game illiterate.
Oh, that's all right. Well, what game do you get into if there's any?
Well, we just mentioned the game that I've recently gotten into because I recently got like a Switch at my house.
Oh,
the Mario Karts, the Smash Brothers.
Those are good, man.
Of course, yeah, dude. Like we just talked about Tony Hawk Pro Skater. The music fucking alone on those is amazing. Like shit like that. Recently, by myself, on my own terms, Doom. I've been getting into the Doom for Switch. Oh, the cat's back.
I'm sorry, the cat is back.
Speaking
the
of
cat is gonna kill
shit
me
from hell.
Sorry, guys. Give me a second while I kick the cat out. This is like a part of the show every fucking week.
No, there you go.
Nah, he's out.
All right,
He's out. But yeah, dude, I've been getting into like Doom for the Switch, and then I got fucking bummed out when Doom Eternal was pushed back to like next year, and I was like, fuck. Shit, I don't know, man.
He snuck up on you. He snuck up on you. He's a sneaky little bastard. Look.
He's like scratching at me.
I got him.
That cat does not fuck around.
Nah, he's pretty brutal. Come on, buddy. Let's go.
I hope y'all are having fun with what we're doing.
I'm sorry. Let's go.
Everybody say hello, kitty.
Or bye, kitty.
Say hi, bud.
Bye, kitty.
Aw. That's a good shot too, man, huh?
Look at that. Look at him bite me.
Aw. That's a good shot too, huh?
I'm sorry, buddy. He's a punk, I'm telling you.
Fuck, dude, I believe it.
I got him at like 2 weeks, though. 2 or 3 weeks. He was super
And how old is he now?
Almost. No, he's like 2 years now.
No shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he's still a baby, though.
What's that in cat years?
I think they're like 5 at that. 5.
Is it really?
Yeah, something like that. I think it's like 10.
I didn't even know that was a thing. I was just...
Oh, just talking? Yeah. Well, I mean, they got dog years. I wonder what elephant years are like.
Elephant years?
Like, oh, I'm 2 million years old.
Dude, do elephants live long? Like, turtles live thousands of years, right?
Do they?
No.
No, I don't know.
No, hundreds. Turtles live hundreds.
They could have lived.
Maybe.
They're like dinosaurs, man. They could have.
What about the ones on the Galapagos Islands?
The gelato bagagobus. But
Gelato Jabbas.
That's gonna be the next. When's the next? When is the next MekroniuM song gonna be called Smeg? Smeg Ryan. Smeg Ryan.
Smeg Ryan. Fuck, dude. If we can use that.
Smeg Ryan. That's gonna be the next.
Smeg Ryan. If we can use that.
Yeah. That's gonna be the next
bonus track.
Top 40 metal radio.
Minute and a half bonus track, dude.
Smeg Ryan. Anyway,
so real quick, because you were gonna segue into this.
Yes.
No.
Oh, Tony Hawk, video games.
No, because you're the interviewer. I'm being a dick.
No. Please.
All right. You talked about intensity and wall of sound, right? And like clearly you just played like the video. And I think that I can speak for both of us because we've known each other for a long time. And I think that when it comes to the music that like we like, I mean we're into like the Slipknots, the Korns, the System of a Downs.
Mushroom
you know
Head?
what I mean?
Mushroom Head, anyone?
No. Maybe like
maybe
one and a half.
You know,
of
it's
a
funny.
song.
As a kid, I liked them more. Looking back at them, another one of those cold chamber
you're
situations.
Like,
You know what it is? It's like I said, like
They were definitely
to me,
bottom of the barrel.
Mushroom Head is the what's the name of that fucking Gathering of the Juggalos version of Slipknot?
Oh Christ! The Insane Clown Posse.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. No.
Well, I know one of them is like I know one or a few of them are like racist dicks. So yeah, fuck them. But yeah,
I don't. You fuck 'em then.
I ain't a fan.
But I
at
think
that point, I mean, whatever.
a lot of the bands that we like
Gotta be kind of cool. I mean, at least.
a lot of the bands that we like tend to have that like very strong stage presence. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Which is like you could call it.
I love System of a Down.
You could call it you could call it a gimmick. You know, but
Intensity is not a gimmick.
But
No, man, that's the thing.
No.
We're
But
not-
the look, you mean? The look or the presence?
I think it's the point I'm getting to is that it's a whole package. Everything's a whole package. You know, like when you, like my first introduction to heavy music was the second Slipknot album, because remember there was Make, Feed, Kill, Repeat.
Is that Iowa?
Fucking love that.
No.
The self-titled.
It was the self-titled album by Slipknot.
I love that.
And I remember like putting that on, and I was like, you know, the opening intro is, you know, the fucking barcode number shit. Excuse me. And then you get Sick.
The whole thing I
And it's
think
like-
is sick.
The whole thing I think is sick.
What an intro. What an intro.
Right? So then
So good.
I remember when I first heard of Slipknot, I was at my grandma's house because my grandma had cable.
That's ironic.
No, listen.
That's where I saw all the music videos.
My
all the
grandmother had cable, and MTV was channel 55.
Sweet.
And then VH1 was 54.
We had the same cable then.
So it was the same cable provider.
Yeah.
It's same cable provider.
Epic.
So then MTV was 55, and then I remembered the video for Wait and Bleed came on early when they used to just ride music, like ride music videos, and it was a live performance.
The live one where they're jumping around and stuff.
Fuck
They're doing the whole
yes,
deal.
dude. And I remember
See the crowd going nuts. Oh.
Dude,
Yeah, dude.
the crowd's going nuts, and you're like, wait a minute, there's 1, 2, 3, there's 9 of them, and like when one's not playing, they're flipping around and they're tackling each other.
It's like a fucking circus. Yeah, I thought more of them were gonna come out. I was like, wow, this is amazing. I was like, how many are there?
And so like you're watching, I'm watching this shit as like, you know, a kid in like 99, 2000, and I'm just like, okay, like, you know,
This is cool.
I'm looking around, like I feel like I'm fucking up, like I'm just something bad. I'm like, oh, my grandma's gonna come around the corner, and I'm just like with the mute button ready to just turn it off. You know,
It's like she walks into the room and you're like, no, I was just jacking off.
because that's better than what.
I was about to say, I was like, this is not even porn. I was like, this is great. It's like, okay, cool.
Because
I'm just masturbating.
Because jerking off in your grandma's living room is better than listening to Slipknot. Or
I mean, it's more natural in their eyes at least.
Abuela!
Oh, I can't stop. You end up coming,
Doing that reverse pull from the back to the front.
and then later on, you're like thinking to yourself, like, why did I put myself in that situation? This is gonna go with me for the rest of my life.
What explains the fact I finished?
Yeah.
When she showed up.
Oh my god, dude! Hey, bro.
Shit, why was she crying the whole time? She cleaned it up.
Mijo.
Talk about salt on the fucking wound right there. Anyway,
So then,
so Slipknot.
So Slipknot,
Wait and Bleed.
I
the
think
video.
that was my first introduction to like heavy music, and I remember I thought like it just can't possibly get heavier than that.
Oh,
And then I got into Cannibal Corpse,
that's awesome.
a song,
I know what you
a
mean,
nice
'cause-
song called "I Come Blood," and I was like, okay, boomer. so I got into it. And I was just like, that's horrendous. And then you read the lyrics and you're like, this is like a fucking horror movie. This is
the story of my life,
man. And then it sounds fucking.
You wrote this for me,
dude. So, so it just gets way more intense and way more intense. Like the further and more you go down the rabbit hole of how heavy does it get? How more brutal? How much more relentless? How much more I don't give a fuck does it get? And it goes really deep until it becomes gimmicky. And I think that you know, because you got bands now that are like I like grindcore. There's a select few of bands of grindcore that I like. You know, even like the older dudes like Napalm Death and shit.
Yeah.
But when it becomes jokey or like shit like porno grind, where it's purposely like
it's just like.
It's like yeah,
it's like a meme.
The lyrics, it becomes a meme almost. Yeah, and like
it's like the fuck this is.
But that was the Bree Bree thing from back in the day. Remember that?
Well, I think the Bree Bree shit came
like
from
2009.
the popularity of deathcore,
hardcore shit, yeah.
like Job for a Cowboy type shit.
Yo, but Job for a Cowboy was fucking awesome.
They were cool.
They
did their thing.
I didn't mind Job for a Cowboy, but
they were like the pioneer for that thing.
Yeah,
I would say so. I think along
Maybe
Job for a Cowboy,
they were famous.
They were king. They were my
I saw them live and they were fucking awesome. They
Remember
played
those other bands?
Cannibal Corpse.
I'm not mad at them. I'm not mad at Job for a Cowboy because you know what? They got better the older they got. They kind of solidified their sound to be more like death metal sounding.
Okay.
You know, as opposed to like that deathcore type shit.
I see what you mean.
But
and this is
well,
so
I don't
first
listen
of all,
to any music like that. Just that band.
you know, for everybody at home, I know we're talking about, you know, for anybody who doesn't even listen to metal, you know what I mean, at home, because I know a lot of the followers don't even, you know, or the people that listen to the show, they're not necessarily metalheads, but what we're talking about, you know, grindcore and deathcore and metalcore, all these different little names. It's kind of like how you have like hip hop, and you have like rap, and you have like trap, and then you have all this other stuff.
Or like anal and you know,
and extra
fucking,
anal.
DVDA.
Double anal.
I'll tell
You know?
for
That's
anyone.
not DVD?
DVDA.
What?
What is
double vaginal, double anal.
Oh no, dude! That's like a Taco Bell when they were like, "We're gonna do the XL Crunch Wrap. We're just gonna make it.
Nobody asked
We're gonna
for
make
that.
it bigger." and now we got the box.
Nobody
Have you
asked for
seen?
more of that.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't make any sense.
You're like, this is too much. Just
It's
take
like-
some of the food back. Give it
It's
to the
literally,
floor.
it's just a bowl. It's a bowl with a fucking taco shell. Fucking, that's the bowl.
Yeah.
I would have been like,
It's
take
stupid.
this fucking box, take it to a third world country.
Yeah, and feed a
You will
village.
be a hero. You will be a hero.
They'll need it.
Distribute
more
it
than we
amongst
do.
Feed a fucking village.
Shit, I
God damn
remember.
it. For real, feed a village. Taco Bell.
I forgot what the point.
Taco Bell.
I forgot the
Hashtag them
fucking-
right.
Some T-Bells. Yo, there's a T-Bells right next to my house that has a KFC.
Oh,
And I tried the wings.
the mix one.
Dude, no, man, you
I
know
hate
what?
my body. They were delicious.
The wings from where?
From let's. What were you talking about?
I don't know, dude. I don't know,
Okay.
man.
Let's just stop talking about
This is when they go straight into like some kind of fecophilia shit, dude. Like real fucking fast.
Okay, we were talking about music and music getting heavier, you know.
No.
So anyway, so Slipknot was your introduction, then you got into heavier stuff, man. So what were you listening into that was like
Dude, I was like
heavy.
super into Louis. Oh, heavy. Okay, I was gonna say.
Louis Armstrong?
Yeah, dude. When I first like really got into music, I was like really into Louis Armstrong.
I don't know if this is a joke yet.
No, it's not.
Oh, that's amazing. That's awesome.
Dude, do you hear my voice?
What a wonderful
Like I clicked with him, man. Like I was like 8 years old talking like this. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with me?
He came out of the womb like, put me back.
I mean, the man sounds like a cigarette.
But he's amazing. He's amazing.
I just imagine a bent cigarette like singing those lyrics.
But man, I like
Yes.
as a young kid, I got into Korn.
Oh,
And I
sweet.
love that. Like that was
They were great, dude.
My introduction to like heavy music was.
But they had a cool sound. They had like this like that they did the rattly bass, you know, with the kick drum, with that epic.
The bass. What I love about what caught my ear about Korn, which has been, like it's been imitated several times, is that click, the percussive click, and then like when you and like it's funny because like I think that when you're a real bass player, you look at that and you're like.
Ouch.
And this is just me quoting Lucha, our bass player. So forward any emails to Lucha. Give a call.
Take it up.
If you have anything to say, but I'll take his word for it. Like he'll tell you, and if you watch like his instructional videos on YouTube, because
Fieldy?
Fieldy, yeah, like Fieldy. I dabble in bass whenever I write like ideas and tracks to send to him for whatever.
Absolutely.
So when I dabble in bass, you know, I have my bass influences that I try to emulate. Even I know I do a terrible job at it.
Cut it out.
But if you talk to if you talk to like bass players, they'll tell you that someone like Fieldy isn't. And you watch the videos on YouTube, the tutorials. I swear to God, it's like his technique is fucking horrible. It's fucking not.
Yeah, I was just hanging out with Allen Iverson last week.
He'll tell you I have a 5-string bass, but you know what? It's more like a drum. Click, 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 click.
Well, yeah, because he plays it differently.
He plays it percussively.
But that's his style.
That's the sound, right?
That's his style. And you listen to the music, you're like, holy shit, that sounds fucking cool.
Well,
here's
an example, right? Like if you ever listen to I'm fucking forget the mics. Freak on a Leash, right? The whole song, the bass has its click parts, like its percussive parts, but then it's after the scatting part where he's like go, gong,
where he just shits on everything.
Gong, gong.
Yeah. The scatting.
That part right after the scatting, you hear the bass. You hear the bass start playing notes as opposed to the percussive clicking.
Yes. No, you're completely right.
And then at that point, you're like, oh, so there's like an appreciation for what he does, even though technically it's not.
He's doing it differently, and it fits the music perfectly.
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying.
And it's all about doing your own thing and doing what works for you. And he may not be technically a great bass player, but what he does works for him and sounds fucking cool, and it fits perfectly with the music.
Yeah. Well,
which is why sometimes like you'll say, oh, what I wrote here, it might sound like shit. I'm like, I don't think it sounds like shit at all.
Yeah, I mean,
because it's
yours. Like a guitar player, you're your own worst critic.
Yeah. That's how you are. That's how you are with everything.
We're always still working on it.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll say something out and be like,
we are all our worst critics.
These are just ideas.
Yeah. But it sounds fucking awesome.
I was just fucking around the other day.
I mean, to me, I feel like it sounds fucking awesome.
Yeah, well, that's what it's all about. You know what? Music at the end of the day is never about, well, let me back up really quick. It is, but it isn't. Music is not about what the creator necessarily wants or loses sleep over. It's about what the listener feels, you know? Yeah. At the end of the day, you know what? The 8 hours that you spend to change a certain kick drum and make it a little bit louder or a little bit lower, the listener's probably not even listening to the kick drum.
No,
they're busy listening to what the vocalist is saying or what the guitar just did or whatever the hell else is going on. They're just capturing the full sound. Yeah. At the end of the day, all we have is 2 speakers left and right. True. That's all we got.
It's fucking accurate.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, as long as you can push your sound through those 2 speakers and people can get what you're trying to say, do it.
Yeah, but even then, there should be like an element of interpretation, right?
There should be a standard. There should be a standard.
Yeah. I think that like conveying an idea and conveying a feeling as musicians is great, and that's fine. But there's a really good chance that who you're conveying it to is not going to feel the same way that you are. Thank you, dude. It's not you. That person's not. That person's not going to sympathize with you. So like, if he writes a song, you know, I don't know, dude. Like about we have a song called Inside, and you know, at first listening, you might think that like, oh, that song's about, you know, like fucking. But then you might be like, well, no, technically that song is like very violent and it's about, you know, maybe beating someone to shit, I guess. I don't know, like whatever the you know, and it's like someone can interpret it differently. You know what I mean? Because maybe for him, he wrote his lyrics and he felt this certain way, or just maybe he just did it for whatever reason. Right. But then someone might grasp onto this like idea and just be like, this is what it means, and
dude, the song was my wedding song.
Yeah, dude, you're like, sure. All the songs inside, you think inside?
Well, I mean, it happens, you know?
Yeah.
Didn't Green Day deal with that, like, I hope you have the time of your life?
Yeah,
like
people think that it's like a great fucking...
It's my wedding song.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
And apparently that's like a big sarcastic thing. It's supposed to be like, it's a sarcastic, I hope you had the time of your life. Like, fuck you, basically.
Yeah.
So, which is like, you know, what you guys are talking about. Well, you know, art is interpretive, man. And that's it's funny because, like, sometimes we just have so much fun doing what we do that we forget it's art. I do, at least. I forget this is art.
Sure.
Because I'm like, you know, like, I'm just having a good time. I'm just hanging out.
It's easy to feel like it's work.
Yeah.
You know, it's really...
But it never feels that way to me. Does it feel like that? Has it felt like that to you guys yet?
It did at one point for me.
How'd you guys...
No, but it's not that it felt like work. It just felt like it wasn't working.
Yourself.
So you know, like it wasn't working. Like it was just like people were stopping it from getting to where it needed to be.
So staying persistent is one of the topics. So I'd like to. I know you guys have been through some lineup changes for a little while now.
Fucking annoying.
This band was conceived in 2014, started playing shows in summer of 2015, and has gone through good amount of lineup changes.
He's the only original member.
Well, that's all you fucking need.
Yeah.
You know. So cheers to that.
Well, I wanted this band.
My beer's not open, but that's cool.
I wanted this band to be.
Yes.
There was because Joe started the idea
Real
basically
quick though,
in a garage.
because this band is something today. I gotta say a shout out to Jay. He was a original member, kind of came through. He always helped us at our worst.
Yeah,
but
the best people.
He's not part of the band right now, but I mean with him, I give him respect because this is where I am right now.
Yeah. Well, those people keep you going. You know what I mean? Like everything is all a part of a story. You know?
Yeah, dude. It was when we were starting to record our EP earlier this year, and then we had, we just fucking lineup changes suck.
Especially with a drummer.
Suck. And a drummer really is like one of the hardest people to find because I mean, you know,
it's
just fucking hard to find a drummer, man. And so luckily we were able to like reach out to this one to Kevin and another Kevin, and then because we've had two Kevins in the band, Kevin 1 and then Kevin 2 now, current Kevin.
Kevin the sequel.
Kevin the sequel or the, you know, whatever, but we reached out to Kevin, and then Kevin came in and like helped us out, and then we lost our bass player, and then Lucha reached out to me and was like, "Oh, I heard you lost your bass player. Like, I'll be in. You know, like I want in." And I was like,
fucking
"All right,
awesome,
cool." So he came in, which is great because I've admired his other band, Eras One, who we all love. Eras One. You've had Andy on the podcast before. We love Andy.
Great band, great guy.
I love Andy.
Oh yeah,
and
cool
absolutely.
And you know. What's the fucking point? But like I've seen Lucha play with Eras One a bunch of times. I'm like, this fucking dude is cool, you know. And you know, you add him on Facebook and you see like the bands that he's sharing and the videos that he's sharing. You're like, oh, this dude has a really good, you know, taste in music. And bro, when he reached out, and I was like, fuck, this is cool. Like now there's I have someone that I can relate to musically, you know, in the bass department. And then when we got Kevin, dude, it was just like magic because Kevin heard something in the music that we had, and it just became. He played drums to what he heard, as opposed to what I was like, oh, that's not the way it used to be. Like, you know, it used to be like this. That would suck if someone did that to me. If he was like, no, like the old guitar player played it like this, and I'd be like, that sounds like shit, or like that's not the way I want to play it. But he came in there and like just reworked our songs to give them a completely different feel. So it just feels like really magical now.
Awesome.
So we recorded drums 2 weeks ago.
Nice.
And then
hell yeah! And then so
hopefully
it's working.
And then
long process or what?
No, did it in one
night.
No,
man, we did it in one night.
It was a very long night, though.
Yeah, but it was worth every minute.
It was almost an 11-hour night.
That's great, though.
Just
That's a great session.
And you know, like Kevin has a lot of projects, dude, and the dude has like an ear for what he wants to do and what he wants to play.
Right.
So if he did something wrong, he'd be like, again.
Yeah, he something
again,
like,
you know,
no, again,
and then we were
that's
just like,
what you need.
Oh, okay, you know, and we were only doing 5 songs.
That's great.
For 11 hours though,
good,
man.
Good.
And so, but he would be like, fuck, no, again, and we're like, all right, dude, let's riff until he says, all right, I felt that one.
Because it was all about making sure that we got everything that we needed from the drums,
but
that he can say, yes, that's how I wanted it, and I'll write that off.
So now that we have his drum tracks, the plan is for me and Lucha to get together, lay down whatever string work needs to be done, so that he has something to come to with words. And I do some backing work in the band. So, I mean, whatever backing shit I might need to do, if that's requested or needed,
like
then I'll do it.
Yeah. Sweet. Of course.
Yeah. But I don't know, man. Like, you know what it is? Like, I aid him live. That's all it is. It's so like he doesn't, like, the harder shit is me because my job's not to sing. But it's definitely for him not to lose his fucking voice on stage, and then we're fucked for the rest of the set.
Yeah, true.
You know, but.
How is that? Has that happened yet?
Dude, shit. Yeah. Like, listen, man, I'm not classically trained.
I ain't James.
Have you seen the Art of Screaming?
Oh yeah,
I want to.
The DVD with the old lady.
Very popular thing. We might have talked about it a long time
Probably,
ago.
yeah.
You know, and lead singer of Lamb of God is in there. Angela from what's it called? Arch Enemy was in there. There's a bunch of people in that video. I didn't see the whole thing because I'm not a vocalist, but I checked it out because it was cool.
Well, you gotta understand, man. But
if you have more fun doing it your way, do it.
Yeah. Well, for sure. Like just do what I do. The thing is we play at a bunch of places that have like the worst sound ever.
That's a good thing. That's
like
good
fucking primitive ass shit. So, which is basically a bunch of unga bungas. Some places that have been around for 30 years, 40 years that just have like terrible goddamn fucking garbage.
Ouch.
So I can't fucking hear shit, and I don't want to. I hate when I go watch a show and I can't hear the singer or I can't understand or anything.
Sure.
So it's like, what the fuck?
It takes you out of the experience.
So I'd rather fucking blow myself out so I can feel like, okay, I did it the way that I want.
Yep.
God damn. So what
it's stupid.
Why is
but
it?
You
Why
know
has
what,
it had
man?
to be this
Whatever.
way?
I could fucking leave right now and die and wrap my car around a tree and.
Don't do that.
Easy, bro. Easy, dude.
And at least I gave you, a performance.
I gave you you're nothing without me. Nothing.
Nothing.
You ain't never gonna be me.
Go back to your mother.
Wow. Okay.
If you want, well, that's the Italian guy we were making fun of, right? But yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, but as we were saying, so why is the situation been this way though? Like, what's going on with these sound guys at these live? What's going on?
There's
Well,
one,
propaganda.
Is it I don't play
wait,
live
wait,
shows.
fucking awesome.
There's the dudes at Propaganda in South Lake, right?
No,
No, South Lake is in Texas.
Fort
What the
Worth?
fuck am I thinking? Fort Worth is in Texas.
Oh,
Lake
yeah.
Worth.
Why did I say that?
Lake Worth, Fort Worth, Lake Worth, dude, and in Lake Worth, right? Propaganda's a great place, dude.
It's
love
fucking
that.
awesome.
We love that place.
Propaganda is fucking
They're
awesome.
fucking awesome.
It's worth going if you see a show that you like and think, oh, it's like fucking an hour. Who gives a shit?
Go the hour,
It's
man.
fucking
It's fun.
awesome.
It's nice, dude.
Really
Propaganda's awesome.
badass venue.
And the sound
bar,
people,
everything.
the sound people are good. I think one of the girls that runs the sound out there, she used to work at the Kelsey Theater, or still does work at the Kelsey Theater, so she has some experience with
So
that.
she knows what she's.
There's another dude named Joe, and he's the shit, and he
Joe
will make
is
you sound fucking
dude.
awesome.
The few times we play, the times that we play there, and Joe has run the other Joe who's run the sound. Well, the other Joe with dreads who's run the sound.
Yeah.
Also, man, he's a fucking killer dude, man. He's a really good sound engineer. Them, and then of course, bro, we can't forget Jeff Martin.
Jeff
from
Martin
fucking
over
O'Malley's.
at fucking O'Malley's.
Anybody watching
I hear a lot of
that
compliments.
knows Jeff Martin from O'Malley's and has played at O'Malley's, this dude is fucking on point.
How is O'Malley's? I've never been there. I don't get out of the house much, guys.
It used to be a lot better. They used to have like not fucking touring band shows and shit like that.
That's what they got now.
But they used to.
That's pretty much just all they do.
If you go back a couple of years, man, like they would have occasional touring bands coming through, but I think that 2018-ish, maybe late 2017, they had like a change of management. So they started taking interest to having like themed nights, like Caribbean night or whatever night and shit, and so.
They kind of killed the original crowd that would go there.
It's like, damn, Gordon Ramsay came through here or what? Like,
shit.
It tastes like shit. Are you an idiot sandwich? It's like, so it. I don't know.
Set up theme nights, Mike.
We've played there. And the thing is, dude, I've been binging on watching Ramsey on Facebook too.
Dude, it's so funny. The money's not coming in.
I feel
You're
like
drying up.
I feel like he's the only dude that can like slap a woman on live television and it be okay and part of the show,
Everybody in the crowd's like, well, she deserved it clearly. I mean, Gordon Ramsay.
Shit.
Yeah, people do give him a lot of passes for some weird shit.
Weren't fresh.
Dude, we were watching Hell's Kitchen. We rewatched like a few seasons of Hell's Kitchen. This man is just calling women like bimbos and go back, you dumb bimbo, and
That's what I'm
like
saying.
just crazy, like just whoa, like
I feel like he can punch a woman in the throat
and spit and just spit on her.
and just like spit in her face.
I treat my dog better than you, mate. He'd probably, but this is satire, guys. That's what satire is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we
I saw this.
We don't consider the beating of sandwiches or women.
Yeah.
I saw this meme that shows Jason in part 7 like breaking through a window and choking a woman.
Oh, no.
And the woman saying, yeah, choke me harder. And he's like, what the fuck? And it sounds like 2019.
50 Shades of Halloween. Oh my! No, Friday the 13th. Yes, that was Michael Myers. Give me one sec. My cat is just, he might have to use his litter box and do his deal. So I'll be
And
nice.
by litter box, he means you, dude.
Oh, he's gonna
fucking.
he's gonna shit in my mouth.
Man, I hope so. That'd be sweet, wouldn't it?
Yeah, let's see if it happens on camera, I'll do it. If we get 100 likes on this video, I'll let the cat shit in my mouth.
Going live right now.
$1 per like for MekroniuM, but it's a band fund. It's a band fund. It's the cat shit fund.
Yeah.
I love it, man. So how's the recording process been? Where are you guys recording your stuff at?
Well, Lucha has our bassist has a mobile recording station.
Pretty much, it's awesome. It's a movable interface, and then he plugs it into a laptop, so we can all head. Actually, he has these too, like something like this too.
Oh, sweet.
So we were able to, like I was able to run like my little. I have like a really cool pedal board made by Moore, called the Black Truck. It's fucking awesome. It's my favorite piece of gear, and it has like a simulated cab out. And just running straight in, and then it like what we did was just basically for guitar tones. It was not for guitar tones. It was just for like scratch tracks for Kevin to play along to. So we were just there to jam out. We were basically jamming out, recording Kevin, while the rest of us were just kind of like, all right, well, this is the song. This is how we play it.
Yeah,
so everybody's on the same page.
Yeah, we didn't play to a metronome. We wanted to give this like a feel of how people see us live.
Yeah,
we want to give them this raw sound.
Right. This is major talk right here. So the fact that you guys use no metronome, I love that, because that is so literally against everything everybody does these days.
Yeah, because it's not. We're not trying to give you this perfect thing. We're gonna give you what we do. And that's what we want people to be able to push play and go, oh shit, okay, this is how I've seen them. This feels
the way it sounds
real.
live, dude.
Exactly.
Well, to me, it's like you could get a 5-star burger, or you can get like a burger from somewhere, down south, somewhere in like in the corner of wherever, and it'll probably be better,
Yeah,
like
out of somene's backyard.
Yeah, because
they cooked it with love.
There's a whole different process put into that whole thing. You know what I mean?
It's true, man. Like the way that I see, like one of my favorite records is by a band called Norma Jean.
Oh, wow.
One of my fucking favorites, and
it's a great band. He put me onto them, and I'm like, holy shit!
Is that the band that had the Memphis song? Or
yes,
whatever?
Memphis Will Be Laid to Waste,
dude. That's the only one I heard, because it was like the big song. It's like 10 years ago.
But the thing about that album, man, is what makes that album so sick is the fact that the whole thing was recorded live.
Whoa. Hello, my love. The lovely Claudia has joined us.
Hi, Claudia.
Hello, my love.
How you doing?
Oh, hello there.
Everything.
Hello there.
Claudia, this is Daniel, Joe, Daniel, the lovely Claudia. We love you. There's beer here.
I brought it to a pack as well.
Oh shit!
I saw a table.
Life is good.
On the show, I was like, I need a 12-pack.
Thank you, my love.
Awesome.
The
lovely Claudia brought us a 12-pack.
I have a bag just like that one. Toto, right?
Yeah.
Let me see the front one. Let me see the front of it.
You're Natasha's?
Yes.
Yeah, that's why, because she's Colombian.
Yeah, of course.
I
have the same one. I pack my shit in that for my all my gear when I go to shows. I have it in a Toto, man.
Dude, that bag is ready for everything.
I bought in Medellin, so I'm not a poser.
Oh, you got the real stuff.
I've known Natasha since I'm like 15.
This is for real? Oh
okay,
shit,
well,
dude, that's awesome, man.
Some background history going on here. Shut Up, Let's Talk, episode
Sick,
102. Dude. The lovely Claudia has joined us. Thank you, my love. Dude. We love you.
Damn, dude, easy, bro. Easy.
Oh my god,
fuck, man.
Never heard of it.
But that whole to get back to shit that doesn't relate to book bags.
Oh yeah, what were we talking about? We were talking about music
and Colombian women.
we were talking about mute.
Hey, this cat. Hey, bro.
Hey,
bro, you want some shoes?
His toy was here somewhere.
Mira.
Bite me at
Here you go, love. Just in case. Sorry. Okay, so episode 102, guys. Sorry. Thank everybody at home.
But the Norma Jean album, the Norma Jean album, that whole album was recorded live. So that, to me, since a very young age when I came across it, was a very big influence to how I wanted things to sound. And turned him onto it, and he was like, "Oh, fuck. Like, this sounds amazing." I go,
yeah, I
yes,
love the vocals.
Recorded live.
So fucking awesome.
It sounds great.
You see these bands. One of my favorite videos to watch online is bands that are like studio updates. Love studio updates.
Yeah,
you see what a band does.
I love it.
But fuck, man, like, you see them and they go over it, and then they record guitars, and then one guitar, then a bass. Well, it starts off drums. They play the scratch tracks, and then it's like, all right, and then we do the string instruments. Okay, and then the vocalists, and then it's like, that's fine. That's fine. It's been done forever. It's been done countless amount of times. That works. But we're such a fan of grit, raw brutality.
Yes.
That it's like, it's the difference between seeing footage of someone getting their head kicked in with or beat in with a hammer, that someone really died, versus a reenactment.
Yeah.
Like if you're into like that crime scene investigation shit, I love that. We're
into beating the shit out of people's skulls with hammers.
So like the reenactment will be like, holy fuck, that's intense. But then when you watch an actual footage, you'll be like, oh fuck, that's disgusting. Like I'm gonna throw up. You know, so that to me that's an extreme, right? Because like like when I watch like those murder like those ID channel shit, you're like, I wonder what they really looked like, and then you see the crime scene photos, and you're like, oh fuck, it's nowhere near close to like what I'm watching on TV. So to me, like that's to me, that's where my head goes, dude, when I'm thinking about recording live and catching that energy versus recording it properly. It's like it feels like you're just reenacting your live performance. Why not just record a live, as live as you can and as clean as you can? Like a middle ground between the two, where you're not recording live audio, but you're not recording so microscopically precise. But then that's also why bands release live DVDs of their live performances. Yeah. Why if nobody gave a fuck about that, they wouldn't go see a band live or go hear a live album or buy a live album or go see a live DVD. Am I right or wrong? And I mean, because imagine if you saw your favorite band and you're like, you go to something live and like, this sounds nothing like the record.
A lot lot of people do that.
A lot of people say that.
It's funny. Like I learned that type of thing through Lamb of God because I'm a big Lamb of God fan. And then I had the Philadelphia DVD, and I saw that performance, and I was like, dude, this is great. Like it sounds like the record, but it's like that's not what I appreciated. I appreciated the fact that they were so on point with it. Everything sounded great. And don't get me wrong, live DVDs can be a little funky because some background info. A lot of that stuff does go into. They record it. It goes into Pro Tools, and they do fix some of that stuff.
Of course, dude. Of course.
So they edit it. There's just post.
But at the end of the day, they're still capturing what they did that day.
Yeah. That's true.
That's the point.
They were still there. Exactly.
They were still there. Because I've heard a lot of live performances and watched a lot of live performances on YouTube where the mix is fucking atrocious. Yeah. The mix, all you hear is snare, or it's too much snare. All you hear is vocals, and everything else is just in the
watered down, just fucking,
or it sounds very flat. Like you're listening to everything through a mono fucking cable. It's
what? Speaking
such a flaccid sound.
It's like trying to
speaking of what we're talking about,
soft
with a semi.
It's like, have you ever tried to cram a soft dick into any orifice? Unless it's a mouth.
It's like trying to spread toast. Butter on regular non-toasted.
Non-toasted bread. It's just
go right through the middle.
Yeah. It just makes a mess.
Oh, my knife.
You're like, ugh.
I could interject, but I just wanted to see where this was gonna go. I love it. Anyway, let's check out the chat really quick because I'm sorry.
Take a leak.
Go. I think the lovely Claudia's on there.
Did somebody write rapist?
Yes.
Oh, Christian Mingle rapist.
Christian Mingle rapist. Louis in the chat says, Natasha in the chat says, talented cuties all.
That's an old song, dude. Christian Mingle rapist. Thanks,
by
dude.
Kitty. Nice pussy. Thanks, dude. Lou says, oh yeah, cute cat. Thanks, man.
Oh.
He's a heartbreaker. Natasha with the sick face. Whitechapel was a deathcore founded as well.
Yeah, I'm not mad at Lou. Lou's right about that, dude.
And
Jesus Joseph.
The guy from Primus plays like that too, but everybody loves that guy. Oh yeah, Les Claypool or whatever.
Les Claypool is the shit,
Captain
man.
Fucking Obvious. Yeah, dude.
That South Park theme song.
Dude, going down South Park. Yeah, dude. That's another dude. Les Claypool's a fucking sick fucking bassist.
The guitar player from Primus was actually taught by my favorite guitar player, Joe Satriani.
Who didn't that guy teach? He also taught Kirk
Hammett, Steve Vai.
Fucking hey, dude.
The dude from Primus. Somebody else too that I forgot.
That guy can die and be like, I taught them all.
Yeah. Like Voldemort. He's like 60 something.
I gotta go hit the head.
Go for it, man. I feel you, dude. I feel you. This is one of those times, man. It's funny, during the episode, normally I'm the one that falls under these kind of things. Because I always have to go piss during the show. So how's life, Joe? How are you, man? I haven't seen you in a long time, brother. You still cooking these days, brother?
I am, unfortunately. But you know what? It's
you look good at it.
It's working for these corporate fucking places. Like everything, the quality is garbage. I work for Bonefish Grill. Don't ever eat there unless you want, fucking some ex-felon cooking your grossly thawed in a fucking sink.
Did you
fish.
Did you end up fight? Did you?
Like it's disgusting.
Did you fight that guy from CVS? The manager from Main Street.
Yeah, that dude wanted to fight.
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny? I really don't even know about this. I'm bringing this up. I haven't talked about this in like 10 plus years. So this is just really funny that I'm bringing this up.
More than that.
Yeah, definitely. You know, the only reason I'm bringing it up is because me and my best buddy Jose, we went to that CVS once, and this guy, he assumed that me and you were friends.
Oh my God!
And he was like, "Dude, me and Jose could not decide what we wanted to drink, so we were there for a long time in front of this like drink section." He was like, "Now you guys are gonna have to get up on out of here now." He's like, "I know all your friends, and I kicked them out too." He's like, "There's a new sheriff in town, boys."
That guy was such a piece of shit.
He actually used that line. He actually used the "There's a new sheriff in town" line. I was like, "Wow, dude! Like, you think you're in a fucking cartoon? Like, what is going on here?"
That guy was full of himself, man.
It was. Yes, he was. I was like, bro, like, I get you. You're a manager at CVS now. You got to buy a new car and everything. That's great and all, but like,
no, he got to finance a new car.
That boom. You see that? So yeah,
I think he was stuck like in a 7-year deal.
Yep.
He's paying like fucking.
Oh Jesus! I just saw
60%.
I just saw this dude's comment. Louis, before the black and milds.
Before the black and milds. What happened there?
Off camera.
Oh.
It has to do. It has to do with a venue changing directions.
Oh no.
We'll talk off camera.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. Camera. Yes, man. So some of the live sound from you guys, man, I'm really happy about it because yes, we were talking about breaking boundaries, we were talking about the recording process, you guys. So what's the progress on the recording at the moment? Like when can we expect this?
For right now, I think Saturday we're gonna be meeting up with Lucha, time permitting, to do the stringed instruments.
Stringed instruments.
Yes.
Nice. Keyboards?
You know, no. Just
no. They're gonna
the bass thing of the guitars. The strings.
Sorry.
Because like they have to go in and do some layering and whatnot.
Yeah, like proper guitar tones. You like no fucking around. Like just coffee and let's.
How many layers you thinking? 2, 4, 8.
You know what?
People do 8.
Too much.
I'm with you.
If you want to,
James Hetfield would probably James Hetfield and Rick Rubin or whoever that guy. No, Bob Rock or whatever his name was. The guy that did the Black album.
Okay.
With Metallica. Do so much layering. And you know what? You like Opeth's sound?
Yeah, decent. Oh, I know that Devin Townsend does the same shit where he'll layer guitar. Like,
dude, I mean, and
I love that dude. I love Devin Townsend.
Yeah, you know what? It's so hard to just. That's the problem. It's like I think about that wall of sound thing that we were saying, and it's like you could make it happen through 2 takes, 4 takes.
Sure.
But it's like, man, like at that point, what isn't. Okay, so this may be something we could talk about really quick. Do you want you guys' album to be like a live performance, or is it going to be a live feel, but are you going to have like 16 layers of guitar? You know what I mean?
No,
like, is it gonna
be, no. I mean, maybe.
So not that polished.
Just like
not polished. Maybe polished is not the word.
We're not looking for polish.
No.
We want it to be raw. So we went in and we recorded the way we recorded, and then now we're going to kind of because I need to lay down vocals and whatnot, like we're gonna do some doubling and whatnot on shit just to make everything sound fucking album worthy.
Yeah, like the stuff you're supposed to do. Yeah.
Exactly, but give you the same experience as if you were to see them or hear them live.
Yeah, just probably doubled on the choruses, right?
Yeah, make it sound. So
thicken up the tone.
Once we thicken it all up, make it real nice and thick, or erect.
Hard.
I don't know. However people
swollen.
Whatever your definition of erect is.
Thick ropes.
Thick.
Oh my God.
Thick ropes. What is it like? Thick veiny roots.
Thick ropes. Thick ropes.
Like a real thick root.
That's gonna be the MekroniuM. Thick ropes. Thick ropes. Thick.
So now we know if someone's at the show and they're like thick ropes, I'm like, oh motherfucker.
All right. Well, we started it. Let's do it.
Thick ropes.
Let's do it. Just pull it. Not just thick ropes.
If you don't know what that means, jump off the cliff.
Learn yourself some shit.
Yeah, you son of a bitch.
Face first.
Man, get your shit together.
Get your shit together.
But I think that when it comes to like the album, man, we just want it to sound very raw, just because of how we were inspired. We want it to sound not so much polished, not so refined, but for sure, just like when you hear it and you're like, all right, I'm gonna go see them live, then it's like that's exactly what I expected. Or better, right?
Well, it's the show, of course, is gonna, it's gonna be something little more visual.
Yeah.
Right.
But you're gonna be able to put it all together and go, yes, this
But
is.
you know what the curse is, dude. I hate it when you hear. I hate it when it happens to me, where like you hear a band, you hear an album, and you're like, "Fuck, this band is sick," and you go see them live, and you're like, "Oh, they're an album band." Or
That was Linkin Park for me back in the day.
really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Fuck,
dude,
dude.
live, it's stupid.
I wasn't into it live.
Yeah.
No.
But album wise, you're.
Oh,
like,
incredible.
You know, same
Albums are
shit.
great.
Same shit. One of my favorite bands of all time is Deftones, and
was never
they're
into them.
love them. Great albums. Love all the albums, but their live performances could be hit or miss. They could be hit or miss.
And them and Linkin Park toured a lot.
And they did. There's something going on there, y'all. You know, but
We're on to something.
I saw Deftones live when they were in Bayfront.
You know what? I think we might be on to. Sorry, not to cut you off at all.
Yeah,
But
no,
I think
no,
we
no,
might.
no.
I think we actually might be onto something because you know what? That was a new metal thing, and you know what? The new metal. Check this out. So, I'm trying to think of where I can start this whole thing because it's going to lead into a lot of side topics.
Do it.
So,
Stay focused.
where we. You know, we're talking about new metal, and
Yes.
that's one of the topics. New metal, for anybody that does not know, really quick, that was a style of metal that was really popular back in the day. You had your Linkin Park, Disturbed, Mudvayne, Slipknot. Some bands could go in and out of those.
I'd say so.
categories.
Slipknot, yeah. First
But,
album,
yeah,
second album,
you know,
self-titled.
But, you know, definitely like what is it? You had other bands too at that time. I can't even remember. Like, you remember what's that one? Smile, Empty Soul. They were like one of those random bands.
God. That's more.
Remember that?
That's
Yeah,
more.
that
That's more.
was-
that was the pop
post-grunge.
shit. Yeah,
that's
that was
more
the pop.
post grunge.
Was that post grunge?
I would say so. That's
Yeah.
post grunge, dude. That's like along like the Stainedy kind of shit.
Stained. Yes.
Stainedy,
Stained.
post grunge, Nickelback kind of shit.
Nickelback.
That was post grunge, man. Listen, if anybody that's listening out there wants to get into like a cool metal documentary because you want to understand the shit better or whatnot, there's a documentary called Metal: A Headbanger's Journey. It's
I'd like to see
it's
that.
Oh,
done-
that
please
fucking
watch it. That's
documentary
a
is
fucking.
awesome.
That's a
Is it
good.
hosted by the dude from Hatebreed?
No. Jamie
Okay,
Josta used to do Headbangers Ball, and he does a really
cool.
good podcast. I love that dude. I listen to his podcast.
But the documentary he's talking about, like,
It's done by-
legitimately breaks off every tiny
gives
little
you a
genre.
branch because the dude, it's done by a guy named Sam Dunn, right? Who now has a channel on YouTube. What's called fucking Bangers Ball or Bangers something or fucking not Bangers Ball. Fucking Banger TV. Bangers
That's the movie I was
No,
watching.
no,
That's on Pornhub.
It's called Banger TV, right? It's called Banger TV. Everybody focus. It's called Banger TV. And
That's more like the porno. Sorry.
the dude, the dude goes into because he's a journalist, right? And he comes from an anthropologist background. So the documentary starts off where he's like, "Oh, what unites these people and what unites these strange genres?" Like he's coming from an anthropologist kind of dude, but he's
Cool.
a metalhead himself.
Oh.
But the best part is where he starts with like a single first metal band, and it's like, you know, Ozzy, Zeppelin, Hendrix. Who's the first? Everybody, and then it's very polarizing, right? Like some say Sabbath, some say fucking Zeppelin is, some say Hendrix, you know, whatever.
Depends on what you. Yeah.
Arguably, right? But those are the three kind of dudes that are up there, and then it just fucking starts to break down. Categories, subcategories, all this shit. And he starts talking. The documentary is fucking sick. It's one of my favorites. I'll rewatch the shit out of it just because I like it so
Yeah,
much.
it's worth
Very
watching.
What's it called again for everybody at home?
Metal,
and me.
Metal, A Headbanger's Journey.
A Headbanger's
like,
Journey.
It's
Metal,
awesome.
colon, A Headbanger's Journey.
Colon.
Oh, description.
I thought you were laughing at colon like
That's
me.
the whole title. That's the whole title.
Because I would do the same thing.
Yeah, dude.
Yes.
It's awesome. So then,
So sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
But what I was saying, so yes, we started, you know, new metal back in the day. Then you had like, you know, you had these. Fuck, I already lost my point. But yes, you know what? Speaking of new metal, really quick, yeah, we had new metal back in the day. Then you remember like this whole Columbine thing that happened?
yeah, dude.
Yeah, 99,
Yeah, you see
420.
that happened that day.
Eric and Dylan.
Wow. Well, there you go.
You're a fan, bro?
Whoa!
We were-
What are you?
Easy.
What are you trying to insinuate?
Easy, bro.
Just because I know my history.
Well,
Yo,
well, to me that was.
don't you? What you think I'm gonna call them martyrs?
Easy.
Oh,
No,
Christ.
that's not what I did.
Well, that was easily
Jokes,
that
comedy.
was easily the day that metal and rock got infected.
Yep.
And that was the day that they started pulling that shit from the radio, little by
Yeah.
little. Like, trust me, guys, these days, a lot of people are like, man, what do you mean there's no rock? God, we don't even get a Nickelback on the radio these days.
Yeah.
We don't even get Nickelback.
Think about it.
Imagine Dragons is rock now.
This is
That's
so
gross.
Think about this.
That band is trash.
Listen, think about it.
What are
that
they?
happened
Did I
in
just
what?
call them a band?
99, 2000, you said?
Columbine, yeah.
Those kids
99.
that are 19 and 18 years old that weren't around when that happened. Let that sink in.
Say it one more time, my bad.
There's people that exist now that weren't born when that happened. That didn't get to see that transition.
They didn't see 9/11.
You know,
never forget.
They don't remember 99.
Don't forget.
Was it 97.1?
Never.
Was it 97.1 Zeta? Zeta Rocks?
93.9 Zeta.
No.
No, 94.9.
94.9.
94.9. 93.9 was the fucking...
94. What did he say? 97.1?
93.9.
97.1 is the Texas station.
I think that was like the reggaeton station.
I used to listen to Clásica 92.
Christ almighty. Never heard of it. But,
Dude.
But,
can that be like a soundbite? You just fucking, never heard of
it. Grandpa Italian. Never heard of it. But, you know, so we had...
Come on, Mickey. Don't be such a cunt.
Easy, bro.
No, I was saying that all day today. Wait. How was he saying
that? Was Donald Duck from... No, I'm kidding.
Come on, Mick. Don't be such a cunt.
I don't know how they do that voice. How do they do that voice?
I don't know. It's terrible.
Anyway, yeah, everybody in the car right now is like, oh shit, like their speakers are just going nuts. Oh my god. Anyway,
noise, man.
We were talking about Columbine. Yes, that's the day that rock and metal started dying little by little.
They all blamed it on Marilyn Manson, dude.
They branded on Marilyn Manson, who I do not appreciate. I'm not a fan of Marilyn Manson.
I could go either way. I don't care.
You know, I was until like he's just like a piece of shit.
It's a fucking weirdo, bro.
He really comes off like kind of like.
Oh shit.
I mean, yeah, the dude's a Miami-based.
Fuck that mic.
The dude's a Miami-based artist.
He is?
He's from here. He's
Fort
played
Lauderdale?
Churchill's.
No, West Palm Beach.
No wonder.
Whatever the fucking case is from down here.
But yeah, he's played at Churchill's.
He's played at Churchill's.
That's where he got his start.
He's a South Florida dude, right? Like credit to him.
Churchill's a piece of shit.
But it's turned into like this over. Man, you know, it's hard to dislike him because the guy.
Would anybody like another beer? Would you like another beer, man?
No, I'm good. The dude is very well spoken. He's very intelligent.
Yeah, he just happens to be like a piece of shit person.
He's just kind of.
But I love the first album.
He's just a goth pimp, dude.
I love the first album.
He's an over opinionated asshole, man.
Yeah,
that's all it is, dude. To me, that's what it is. Whenever he starts talking, he's like, oh, you know.
I was just about to say his voice and all
right, bro, like cool stories. You know, next.
What we did, you know, yeah, whatever. Didn't him and Rob Zombie get into an argument at a concert?
And that's another thing. Like,
during their Twins of Evil tour.
Think about the caliber of musicians that he's worked with, and how much they all have really nothing good to say about him.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like a fun dude whatsoever.
But then the dudes that you see, like you see John 5. His guitar
that man broke off at the right time.
That guy is so amazing. Telecaster guy, by the way.
Love Telly.
He's awesome. He's a Telecaster dude. I love Tellys.
He's amazing with it.
You got him. You've got Blasco, the bass player. I think he played with Manson. I could be wrong. I don't fucking know. But it's just like this. Everybody is saying you're a dick.
You gotta be.
Maybe you're a dick. Yeah. You know?
But he doesn't give a shit because he thinks he's the shit.
He's got the royalties. Yeah. Because he was still in that diamond era.
But I've seen him a shitload of times where he's terrible.
Like live
on stage,
or
yeah, live, and it's like, Buch. No, live. I don't know that. I don't know that guy.
No. You know what? Here's the thing about Marilyn Manson. We started breaking off, making fun of Marilyn Manson, but yeah, you know what? A lot of his personality leaked into that, and then at some point, yeah, you know, we're losing the whole battle to the whole like I don't know. I'm trying to think of a way that rock could ever come back to radio, and I'm trying to figure out like what would that process take?
I got an opinion about that. There's a really cool
that it doesn't even belong on there.
No, there's a really cool YouTube page.
The radio's gonna die.
There's a really cool YouTube page that's called the Punk Rock MBA, and he recently did this video. The guy's great. Look him up. Punk Rock MBA, Finn McKenty. He's sick. Anything about music, he really dives deep into it, journalistically too. Cool. The guy there's a video that he has called "Is Rock Dead?" or "Is Metal Dead?" or whatever, and he basically says, yeah, it is, because at a certain point. In summation, watch the video, but in summation, he basically describes how like back then the dudes that had the star power, the guys that had the drive, like the
Motley Crue and stuff,
the Motley Crues, the Panteras, the guy,
but famous.
But hear me out, like the bands that are very well known. There was a drive. There was a drive to succeed. Easy, bro. There was a drive to succeed, right? To where they had the it factor. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of bands that we talk about nowadays from that we heard of growing up that to us is just like those are powerhouses of what they do. You know, the Panteras, the Metallicas, you know, the fucking Slayers, because they've established a name for themselves. But they all started at a certain point that was super like not very
garage
insignificant.
Band.
You know,
they were garage bands at one point, right?
Right,
Yeah,
of course.
well, everybody
but then
starts
why?
off in
But
the
then,
garage.
but then,
Unless you're a fucking corporate shill.
But here's the point: to talk about money and income, you have to think about why are these festivals headlining these bands that are like 10 and 15 and 20 plus years old?
Because they bring the people in.
Because they bring the people in. But then that's great for the people that are bringing the money in. But then where are the new Metallicas? Where are the new rock bands?
Yeah,
like where are those new artists that you feel are fucking setting their? I mean, you know what? Do you see what I'm saying? Like the video is a very good video, and he does a way better job explaining it than I can. But then you look at like what would be like a hip hop festival, and
Post Malone,
there's very little old school dudes from way back in the day. Like if you put like the timeline, there's much more newer acts on a hip hop festival or a rap festival.
In that genre, they want to see newer. They want to see this. They want to see that.
It's such a
novelty for them.
They're allowing fucking rock to just die.
It kind of is, dude. And look, the video goes really deep into it, but I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that rock in itself is dying. In some way, shape, or form, has a lot to do with the fact that there just isn't. You hear the term, I just don't want to be famous. I really don't want to be famous, man. I just want to fucking rock out. I don't want to really be like, I'm not trying. You don't hear that thing of, bro, I just fucking think I dream about stadiums and playing stadiums and putting out records. No,
Thank you. Well,
you hear like, I don't really want to be famous. I just want to jam.
So you know what? Here's something I'd like to bring up.
It's almost like a lack of ambition.
I'd like to bring this up to both of you guys and see what you guys think about this. So it's like, back in the day, you're completely right. Yeah, we had rock stars, right? And I mean, what I mean by rock stars is like you'd see like, even if Motley Crue looked as crazy as they did or whatever, don't get me wrong, I don't like their music that much. It's just the fact that they were like a mega famous, like they were as famous as a Drake these days. Yeah. Right. So think about it on that level. So imagine, people like, Motley Crue staying at a 5-star like hotel in Miami because that's what they were doing. These were actual rock stars. They had big money to spend. Here's my thing. A reason for metal maybe diminishing a little bit, or maybe rock also, both. We don't get that rock star personality anymore. You don't see these rock stars booking into expensive hotels, spending the money, because that's my issue, is that, so many of these rock stars of today are okay with looking broke, which is it's not that I agree or disagree with any of these things. It's just about putting it on top 40. We're talking about MTV. We're talking about like showing it to people, inspiring them to do stuff. If you see, hip hop stars or pop stars, whatever, what they do to make people think they're legit, it's a mind game, obviously. They spend money.
Right.
Yeah.
Now imagine and think about how many rock stars of today, right? You see them making Instagram videos practicing their guitar in their bedroom, and you see videos only in their bedrooms.
One of my favorites,
kitchens.
Tosin Abasi does that.
I love it because it shows that they're working on their craft, but it takes away from the rock star mentality. They don't necessarily
they're just
want
a noble person like you and I.
Just
exactly.
a dude.
But that's how everybody is. But you need to be marketable in some way or another.
Yeah.
Depending on what your goal is, like if your goal is to try to be one of those bands and have $1 million, well, guess what? You might need like 1 million people for that. Maybe,
Yeah.
So it's just, here's my thing. So it's like, in order to be accessible, like what I've been not telling people, but like what I've been thinking, marinating in my head is like, is us jamming out in our houses like killing the perception of what a rock star should be? Because when you think of rock stars, Yngwie Malmsteen, guitar player, this guy's still driving around in Ferraris and stuff because you still think of him as a rock star from that day because he rides around the old school Ferraris and he's got the chains, and it's a subconscious thing.
Sure.
I'm not saying that I think everybody should be selling out and booking themselves in expensive hotels.
Yeah.
I'm just saying if you want to put off a rock star mentality, don't be.
I think when it comes to the success of a band, a very important key, and this is just based on maybe not my observation, but like you hear everybody, like the echo chamber effect, what you hear everybody else say is like is the charisma, of a band, like the very charismatic frontman or like a very charismatic person in the band that just kind of carries the image. Like when you see it, you're like, fuck, that's that band. Like that's the spirit of that band. And I think that like now, a lot of the newer bands that tend to be really good, like Beartooth and like the newer bands that are coming out of like hardcore. Fuck is the name of that? Knocked Loose is another one, right? That's like a really very
like hardcore music.
Hardcore, like
New York and Brooklyn hardcore type,
like Madball hardcore, Hatebreed hardcore, and
classic.
Like these guys, these guys come out and like you see articles being spread about them, and you hear their new single, and there's a lot of hype behind it. But at the same time, dude, it's just like, well, you know, y'all just look like kids with instruments. You know, there isn't like a big personality to it. The music might be great. But would you call them rock stars? Nah, dude, because they're fucking touring in vans and in wagons. The rock stars are still the dudes that did it
30 years ago,
10,
40 years
15,
ago,
20 years ago. Those are the dudes that are in buses. I mean that, you know? And like I remember like Jim Root from Slipknot.
Oh, sorry, you're talking about the new metal guys we listen to. I thought you were talking about like the Van Halen types.
I'm talking about everybody. It's just a general blanket. But I remember when like there was an interview with Jim Root, and the interview like very, very fucking subtly was just like, oh yeah, you know, like when you go back to your tour bus, like how do you guys get together? And Jim Root, the guitarist from Slipknot, was like, tour buses, because we can afford that now. And it's like, how long did it take for 9 guys to be able? It's a business. You know, and you have to be like business oriented. It's not just I'm a dude with star power. Yeah, no. You know, or we're a band with star power. Like you have to be business savvy too.
Because you need to be able to package it, man.
Yeah. I feel that way. Yeah,
it's packaging it, dude. And don't get me wrong. Like a lot of it's funny that we want to disconnect from that when while growing up we fell for those tricks.
Sure.
You get me?
Yeah, dude, for sure. But like, you know what's annoying too, man? The fucking naysayers, man, that are like, if you try to make something accessible because you want to make it your job and you want to live off of it, you sold out. You sold out.
The thing is, the way that
shut the fuck up. Oh, the old shit sounded better. Well, what about if this was your passion and you just wanted to do? You know, it's like you getting a promotion. Oh, you got a promotion? You think you're better than us? Get the fuck off, man.
I might be.
The way that I see it.
Clearly,
oh, of course. Well, you're the one who got the promotion.
I'm up here and you're down there. You know, like
it's terrible.
You hear what I'm saying though?
But people get threatened easily for some reason. It's like a thing where they think like, oh, like you know, you used to hang out with us. Now you only call me like once a month. Like you know, people get like that sometimes. It's weird.
But like what you were talking about,
Lou has a good point here. It's a lot easier for hip-hop or rappers to get started today with the interfaces and Fruity Loops starting, and the band's a lot harder. It coordinates 3+ people. He's right, though. He's accurate.
I want to completely agree with you because here's my thing, though. I've been on both sides where I make a lot of music. Like, I make music from, like, hip-hop beats and all that kind of stuff to electronic songs to metal songs. I do a little bit of everything. And the reason for me even bringing that up is the fact that I've made rock and metal songs in my bedroom the same way that these people do it with Fruity Loops, you know? It's not that hard. You just got to sit there. You just got to find the people, which is the hard part, you know? Find, like, that's where the hip-hop people have an advantage, which I'm totally with you on. Which I'm totally with you on that.
Yeah, I agree with him on that.
All they need is somebody with a laptop and an MP3 file, and they get to play it.
A lot of
straight up.
You need a drummer and bassist, and my bad, guys. I got to piss.
Go for it.
So do your thing really quick.
But I think that's the whole idea. Like, what did he say? Let's talk to Lou from Eras One, a really good local band. Or a really good band. Let's not use the term local, right? The major payoff is that most artists are flavors of the weeks, where a successful band comes legendary. That's a fucking good point, dude. This guy is a scholar. Fucking Lou, man. I think, he's right. I'm not mad at that. But you hear about the term SoundCloud rapper.
Yeah, they come and go.
And it's like, they're come and go, but man, like that's where they come, and it's like a shit ton of money. And then, you know, just like that. Very few people, I feel like, you hear a name. An example, man, it's like Post Malone. I heard the name and I'm like, okay, what does he do? He's a rapper, of course he is. And then, you in my head, I immediately dismiss it. But then you start to, you see more of him. You start to see this dude like came from like a rock background and played in like a few rock bands, and then just started rapping and got good at rapping and got recognized at rapping. And I'm sure maybe in his own head was like, I like rapping, I like rock too, but rap is giving me more notoriety. It's making me notice more. So I think Daniel, bring me food. My wife. Okay. Can we not ban stuff? Anyway. So I think that the whole thing when it comes to that is that it is easier for one guy to learn how to program, learn how to record, learn how to EQ, and then where like Lou said, you're coordinating more than one person's lives to somehow sync up.
That's hard.
So that you can make some shit happen. You know what I mean? And we struggled with that a lot. You know, when it came down to, I can't make it this week. Oh, I can't. I have to do this. Oh, I can't. I have to do that. And I remember I told you a while ago. Well, we've had the question asked about us going from a 4-piece to a 5-piece with an extra guitar, but that's just an extra life that we have to coordinate
an extra
around.
fucking person that you gotta call and make sure that they're good to be there, and it's just a mess.
It's an extra moving part. You know what I mean? When you've got 4 people that have already established, like, this is where we're at. You know, like, that's it, dude. It's a marriage. It's a marriage of the minds, dude. You're back, man.
Thank you guys for doing that.
You just put catheters in all of us before
I've been just pissing in my diaper.
Oh shit!
Nobody else had a diaper.
In one of the beer bottles that you used a while ago.
Take it easy, bro. But that's the point that I think I'm getting to, bro. Is just that, like, for when it comes to like a band, man, you're coordinating, you know, lives and extracurricular activities and shit that they gotta do. What did you say? It's also cheaper for labels to pay for one person.
Also cheaper for labels?
Guys. Yeah, fuck. See, Lou is a guy. Lou from Arizona is a guy you should have on here and have him talk about music, because that guy's fucking smart.
Hey, well, hit me up, my man. I would love that.
He's really fucking smart.
Yeah, he's cool as shit.
He's really very musically knowledgeable. That guy is.
Lou recorded me and JC on JC's podcast.
Yeah,
at the
that's
time.
him. Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
Get Lou on here and have him talk about music. He'll fucking talk your ear off.
I would love that,
intelligent.
man. I would love that. So, but you know what? You're speaking of that. You're completely right, though, because it is cheaper for them to pay one person. That's a big reason why a lot of people. You know, it's funny with hip hop artists. Everybody asks the question like, why don't you just play that shit live? You know, why don't you get a guitar player to come in and play that?
These are hired guns, dude. You ever seen the documentary, by the way? Hired Guns?
No, but that's one of my dream jobs, to be a session player.
That'd be awesome,
brother. You'd fucking love it. Hired Guns documentary.
Awesome.
Watch it.
Tim Pierce, do they bring him up at all?
I don't know who the fuck that is.
Dude, Tim Pierce is a guitar player that has played on Michael Jackson songs. He did the guitar on Black and White and stuff like that.
Then yes.
You know what's funny? Michael Jackson for Black and White. Speaking of, we've been talking about.
He raped kids.
Never heard of him, but Michael Jackson, you know, during that song Black or White, where he does that little weird part at the end, that part was actually inspired by Motley Crue, Dr. Feelgood.
What?
Jeez.
Yeah, because Michael Jackson was really into that song at the time, so he told the guitar player, like, I want something just like Dr. Feelgood, so the guitar player made something in that vibe. Crazy. So when you hear that again, that's what. So
I was never able to listen to Michael Jackson because he raped kids.
You think he really did that though?
Oh yeah.
You know what's funny? Like, I don't. Michael
Jackson.
Well, here's my thing. A lot of people are like, man, they're just trying to set him up because he was going to buy NBC. No, I'm kidding. That was Bill Cosby.
Well,
but,
you know
I'm
what?
just
Okay. He didn't rape the kids. The parents
neglected the kids.
No, allowed him to have intercourse with them.
Oh man.
Fuck.
And he paid them.
Anybody wants a beer?
Yes, please. Anybody want?
I mean, whatever. He can still be your king of pop. I just don't agree with that.
You know what? A lot of people like defend him in front of me, and I'm just like, why is it so hard for you to believe that he could have been a pedophile?
Like, you know what?
Like, it's just people eliminated out of their fucking
Again, he
mind.
was just into it.
You know what?
Sick. Whatever. He did that. People
I think it was
that.
Michael Jackson's doctor that came out and said that he was a castrato.
Oh yeah. I heard this on
You heard
Rogan.
about that? Yeah. He was
Is that where they talk about it?
Yep. Well, he was chemically castrated to
preserve the voice.
Preserve
That's
the
why
voice.
he would suck the kids.
Fucking Joseph.
No, I'm not gonna continue that. God damn it! See this? You're gonna get me canceled, Jeff. God damn it. Well, whatever. Shut up. Let's talk. That's why we got a warning in the beginning of the show now, guys.
Yeah, dude.
Oh shit.
That's why we have a warning in the beginning of the show.
Are we recording?
I thought we were just hanging out.
What is going on?
But here's the thing about whether Michael Jackson did it or not really doesn't even. Well, it matters to me, but not as much as people just automatically writing him off. Where they're like, "Of course he didn't do it. Look at him." Yeah. And I'm like, "Why? What?
Like he's the king of pop."
I'm fucking go. Like at least give him
kids.
Pop. Yeah.
I mean, it's just like if R. Kelly had all this power. Like imagine R. Kelly, but with Michael Jackson's money.
Oh, he would get away with it. He would be currently urinating on underage girls. Like he would have a YouTube account
And just have a dungeon.
and he's like, hey, everybody, YouTube, welcome to my dungeon.
So when is Piss Dungeon gonna be a MekroniuM song?
R. Kelly is such a piece of shit, dude.
Yeah, R. Kelly is.
But
about
everybody's
as
like,
bad as
no,
shit.
he has such good music. It's like,
All right.
Okay.
The music matters more to you
But you know,
Then
the shit he did.
that's such an. You know what's a fucking annoying ass. You know what? Yeah, I'll take another beer. You know what's another annoying ass. Sorry, I didn't mean to get her up like that, dude. Oh, it's something. No.
Thank you, my love. No, it's fine.
No,
It's fine.
no.
No worries, man. No worries.
Now I'm that guy.
No,
she doesn't want to hear what I'm saying.
Nah, man.
So shut up. Let's talk
Understandable.
hospitality.
You know what's a fucking annoying question? Can you separate the artist from the art?
I can't.
I fucking hate that question.
Or when people say, "Can't you ever forgive someone?" Oh, I'm so sorry. Can you forgive Hitler first?
I was just about to put it. Why is that like the default example, right? Like, oh, yeah, what about?
He just happens to be like worse than Satan.
That question annoys
Apparently.
the fuck out of me. You know, because it comes.
So you don't separate it, right? Because if somebody's a piece of shit, you don't like their music or what?
Yeah, that's how I feel.
or you
That's,
do.
that's how I feel about Marilyn Manson. I used to
Same.
love him, and then he's just a piece of shit. And it's like, and then you're like, ugh.
All your hits are covers anyway.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Wow, man. That's it. All right.
I mean,
The first album is
cool.
cool.
I like. Hey.
When it comes,
I mean,
I feel like when it comes to artists, I feel like I'm chewing into the microphone, man. My bad.
I can't hear it, so you're good.
Good. Okay. I think when it comes to artists, dude, I think for example, like As I Lay Dying recently came out with like their new track, right?
Okay.
And I liked them. I appreciate the guitar work that they did for their music. I wasn't necessarily like a fan, but I would never definitely like. I would say no to them. And then, you know, the guitar when everything came out that he was like trying to like, you know, he hired someone to murder his wife and shit, and he went to jail. For
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Oh,
and then
fuck.
they recently
What a jackass.
like the other bands. Hear me out. The other bands came out. And the rest of the band came out and they started another band called Wolven War. Whatever. It's what fucking who cares? Like whatever. But then they came back together as I Lay Dying with the same lineup.
Oh no.
And so the music is fucking killer.
Okay.
The music is fucking killer. It's fucking
The
Riff.
dude almost killed his wife.
It's fucking Riff City. But am I gonna be like? Am I gonna see it on YouTube and go, "That's the guy that tried to kill his wife"?
Dislike.
No. Thumbs down.
Thumbs down.
You know
Thumbs down the
I
comments.
saw that. You know what the first thing I did was, oh fuck, play, and that song rips, dude. Riff City, dude. The whole album is Riff City.
Wow.
But am I?
Well, you don't know those people. Those people aren't in your life.
Dude, but I'm just look. But I'm just saying, like, it. Is it that bad to be like? I think that's very subjective. It's a very subjective question to ask because it's up to you. There's no right or wrong.
Dude, I love the Naked Gun movies. Yet O.J.
haven't seen
Simpson
it.
fucking murdered his
Hello,
wife.
Twitter world. Hello, Twitter world.
I haven't seen those. I've
seen those clips. Oh, the Naked Guns?
The Naked Guns. I've not
Oh,
seen those
dude,
movies.
they're fucking awesome.
Shut the fuck up.
I've
dude.
missed out on a lot of
Dude,
movies.
Leslie
I've
Nielsen?
seen no Marvel movies.
No, that's
None.
garbage. That's garbage. Who cares about that
Shirley,
shit?
you must be kidding. I'm not, and don't call me Shirley.
Yeah.
Dude,
Dude, Leslie Nielsen.
That's Airplane.
Leslie Nielsen.
Airplane is a great movie.
Leslie Nielsen is a
Leslie
Nielsen is
though.
amazing. He's actually one of my
Well,
favorites.
watch-
I
okay,
saw
well-
Mr. Magoo is still funny. What the fuck?
Well, fucking.
Even that was funny to me. I like it.
What is it? Naked Gun is literally him starring.
Oh, he's in Naked Gun?
fucking
O.J.
awesome.
Simpson is Naked Gun.
Oh well,
dude?
no.
I didn't know O.J.
Leslie Nielsen is the star of Naked Gun.
Yes.
But O.J. Simpson is like his
The co-star.
partner.
It's the co-star. But am I gonna stop watching?
He's the Danny Glover.
No,
the Mel
it's
Gibson.
hilarious. Yeah.
Pretty much. But am I gonna stop
Well,
watching
it's
the
a
Naked
buddy.
Gun
It's
because he's
like
in there?
a spoof like.
Oh, it's a mock
cop
buddy
film.
cop
Yeah.
film.
Dude,
movie.
just watch it.
Okay. Naked
Just
Gun.
watch it.
Naked
Just
Gun.
watch it.
Everybody
There's
at home who's
Naked
not
Gun
checked
and
out.
Naked Gun 33 and a third. I forget
Everything
exactly.
the third, which is the third movie.
No, it's the second movie.
She's like, when the chick comes out, she's like, I just got my knees done. Now they go all the way up.
Oh no!
You're like, what?
Christ Almighty!
I think that's that movie. I could be mistaken. It could be some from other movie.
Oh no, you're thinking of the other Leslie Nielsen.
Hot Shots. I'm thinking
No.
what? Hot Shots is another spoof one that's really good. That's a very Rambo.
Oh, that sounds
With
funny.
Charlie, Charlie
Like Tropic
Sheen.
Thunder before
Charlie
that.
Sheen before he like smoked a shitload of crack.
Before
when he was
the
probably just
Tiger
snorting
Blood
coke.
shit.
When he was still negative. Sorry, but
Yeah.
shit.
Shit, dude.
That's not good. Why did I say that?
Well,
Why-
I mean, people should know
It's- you
because
guys
what
are
if you
bad
come
influence.
across him and you're
I would've
gonna
never
have
said that.
intercourse? What if you or someone you know is gonna have intercourse with Charlie Sheen? You want to know that he's HIV positive.
I'd have ran.
You
I'd
want
have
to
ran
make
and be like,
sure, you want to make sure you take your prep.
And don't swallow.
dude, I'd have
those.
came in like Ninja Gaiden and just grabbed him and just dipped out the window.
the Hot Shots is a good one because it's like a Rambo and Top Gun parody.
Oh, that's funny.
But it's fucking stupid.
But that was
Oh,
what, you know,
God.
back then, like late 80s, early 90s, those movies were big and they were fucking awesome.
Yes.
They were good.
Why did we bring this up by any
comedy
chance?
movies now are stupid.
I stopped.
Who knows?
I stopped.
I was trying to think why we brought this up so we could,
I don't know.
trace it back.
I think we're separating the art from the artist.
Art from the artist, yes.
Oh yeah, O.J. Simpson murdered his wife.
And the
Yes.
dude,
Oh,
the
Natasha
Goldstein,
says, "Oh my God."
Yeah, probably.
Louis says the guy from Five Finger Death Punch played guitar for Hillary Duff.
He did. He's in the Hired Gun documentary.
Let the rain fall down.
He was the hired.
could do that
He was the hired gun for a while, and then he ended up wanting to do his own thing, and then he put together Five Finger Death Punch.
That's terrible.
Because the singer from Five Finger Death Punch,
Feel bad for him.
Ivan Moody or whatever the fuck his name
That
is,
guy's terrible.
he used to sing in a new metal band called Motor Grader.
Oh,
There's
terrible.
no one coming.
Terrible.
I used to like that song. The
Motor Grader song?
Yeah, and there's no way. I forgot the name of the song. I think it was called Down. I think it was called Down.
It has that weird like it works deep and high at the same time.
It was kind of like Eddie Vedder. It was like,
No, well, Eddie Vedder's has
What's
talent.
the name of that fucking dude? Michael McDonald.
oh no!
Oh my God!
He
Yeah.
came from somewhere.
Dude, Will Sasso on Mad TV playing him.
Lemons. I don't know. The only thing I know about Will Sasso is the lemons. skit.
No, man,
No,
he was in Mad TV. You never watched Mad TV?
You think about the Toy Story guy? Isn't Adam? No.
Yeah, he would do Michael McDonald, and he would also do fucking.
But he would do Kenny Rogers when he's like,
No, not Kenny Rogers.
Jackass.
You're talking about Randy Newman.
Randy Newman.
Oh, no.
He did
my
the
God.
Short People song. They have
Michael
no
McDonald.
reason to live.
Michael McDonald's hilarious.
friend in me.
Yeah. Michael McDonald is the guy. Michael McDonald is the guy you see like in like AARP commercials these days. Oh, I used to tour all over the place. You know, the AARP helped me save a lot of money.
What was it like Kenny Rogers? He used to do Kenny Rogers too. He's like, hello, this is Kenny Rogers, jackass. Hey,
No,
where
that
we
was
go?
the shit.
He would always get like maimed on
Kenny
a
like,
Rogers.
He's like, this is the back catching trick with my teeth.
Oh,
And they throw a baseball bat and he just whack.
who's Kenny Rogers? Is that Danger Zone? Who is Kenny Rogers?
Dude, do you remember Kenny Rogers Roasters?
Fuck yeah, dude. That's shitty, dude.
No, well,
Shitty, man.
that was back when Boston Market was huge.
Fuck Boston Market.
That
Fuck
gives
all
you
those things,
that
man.
gives you diarrhea.
I hope you're not sponsored, but fuck
No.
Boston Market.
Actually, you know what? Fuck Boston Market times 2 because you know
Fuck
what?
yeah, dude.
I had a 2-day job, or maybe 1-day job at Boston Market. You know what was funny? The manager hired me, right? Made me get the uniform and the shirt and all the non-slip shoes. You fucker. Made me get
Dr. Scholl's.
Yeah, made me get the whole
special.
Made me get the whole deal. I spent money on those shoes, right? I had to go to fucking Kmart, Sears, or whatever the
Yeah.
shit. Had to get those shoes. Eventually, I worked there for 1 day, and then I was like, "Hey, man," I was like, I went back home. I was like, called the manager. His name was Ray. Fuck you, Ray. And he was
Fuck you, you piece of shit.
yeah.
Fuck it, Ray.
Ray, I hope he fall into a fucking pit of cobras head first.
He's probably dead.
Damn, dude.
But
He's
pit
probably
of
stuck. Some say he's still stuck in the rotisserie machine to
yeah,
this day.
a fucking pit of cobras, dude. Like Johnny Quest in this bitch. But,
God.
Anyway, this guy hired me for a day, right? I called him later. I was like, "Hey, man, I just wanted to know what my schedule was for the rest of the week." He's like, "Hey, let me actually call you right back. I'm on the other line." Never called me back. Called him the next day, and he was like, "Hey, what's going on, man?" He's like, "This is Alizar, right?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Is this your number, right? 305." Blah, blah, blah. I was like, "Yeah, that's me." He's like, "I'll call you right back." He's like, "I got somebody on the other line. I've got to handle something really quick."
God, what a piece of
Never
shit.
called me back. I fucking threw the uniform in the garbage and was like, "Fuck
Bye,
you, dude."
motherfucker. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, "You're a dick face." So, if anybody would like to talk to somebody with dick breath, go to Ray.
Oh no, man.
Go to Ray at Boston Market
Does
somewhere.
this guy still exist?
I don't know.
Which Boston Market
Hopefully
is it?
not. I'm just kidding. Oh, it's so fucked up.
Which Boston Market?
I don't mean that. I'm not gonna say.
Is it the one off 67th?
Maybe not. But
Oh shit, man!
maybe not. Maybe not. But anyway,
That one is garbage. Hot garbage.
They're all garbage. They all suck, dude. You're getting your food heated up by a light bulb.
Yeah.
The fuck kind of shit is
yeah,
that?
it was weird, dude. It was weird. So yeah, anyway, fuck that. But Thanksgiving is coming up. What are you guys gonna be doing for Thanksgiving? You guys spend time with the family?
All right, for sure. Recovering from the night before because on Wednesday, Cattle Decapitation is coming down.
Oh shit.
They're playing in fucking Culture Room. They're one of my favorite bands.
Whoa.
Really awesome death
Riffage.
metal grindcore band to get into.
Death riffs, yeah.
Yeah, dude. They like it's kind of cool because their whole thing is that they're all like anti-animal shit, right? Nothing. I eat meat, so let's just get that out there. I eat meat. I'm not fucking vegetarian or vegan. I don't give a fuck. I eat meat. But what they do is that they replace the animal with the human. So however the animal is treated, it's done to the human.
Oh, that's basically commentary. That's social commentary. I love that.
So so it makes the fucking lyrics brutal as fuck, and it's Travis Ryan is one of the best metal vocalists that ever existed on Earth. Fight me.
Cattle decapitation.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Okay.
Oh man, their album Monolith of Inhumanity, game changer. Yeah. Game changer for the death metal, grindcore community.
If you can't spell that, dude, too bad, so sad.
Cattle decapitation, Monolith of Inhumanity. Look that shit up, dude. It's fucking
actually
awesome.
turned me onto the band. And I'm obsessed with one of their music videos. It's for a song called "Forced Gender Replacement." Reassignment.
Sorry, I don't know why that was funny for me to laugh.
Dude,
no, it's brutal.
But you have the video is fucking gory as fuck, and it's been banned from YouTube a million times.
Whoa!
But what makes that fucking video sick as fuck, and what makes it cool, is that it's targeted at Westboro for like their transphobic, homophobic bullshit of all gay, God hates gays and all gays go to hell and whatever. And the whole premise of the song is that there's like this like leather-bound gimp dude who captures these two people and reassigns their genders with each other's genitalia.
And the music video is brutal.
It's brutal, but
it inspires me.
The lyrics
go deep.
Are so well written. And the way that the phrasing of the song is so well done that you can just read the lyrics and go, that's a fucking sick story. Everything rhymes. The meter. And before you know it, like the end, it's slamming ending, dude, at the end.
What's the name of the track again?
Forced Gender Reassignment.
Forced Gender Reassignment by Cattle Decapitation.
Yeah, it would be like getting one of those like hateful fucks from like Westboro and just be like, oh, you hate gays, oh, you hate trans and gender like dysphoria and shit. Okay, well here, cock, pussy, swap, and insert.
And it's absurd music video.
It's like forcing somebody to live as someone that you hate, like walking in their shoes. Wow. It's such a fucking good. That band is so fucking sick. I just can't get enough of them. They have a song called it's like I forget this because if you watch the video, I think it's called Kingdom of Tyrants. No, it's called it runs into each other. So it's Monolith of Inhumanity, which is what the album's named, and then it runs into Kingdom of Titans, and it talks about what an animal's perspective before they go into like the kill floor or like a meat processing plant.
Jesus.
And it's amazing because like the lyrics are like, how does it go? It's like, here in this garden. Fuck, dude, I'm a few beers in.
Those are the real lyrics.
It goes, here in the garden. It's like, here in the garden, we know not what we've done. Forced to lay in pastures of filth, led to die, guilty of nothing. If we were promised heaven, why are we in hell? And then it goes, and it goes into this blast beat type shit.
So born to die.
The whole thing is just like this. This whole fucking story where it's up to the point of death from the perspective of an animal. Well, you know, but then you hear reports of like pigs, how they design like the walkway for pigs to be slaughtered in a curve, right? Like it's like angled where it's not like a straight kind of like conveyor belt type deal. It's curved. Wow. Because if they see one of their own get slaughtered, they'll have heart attacks. Adrenaline flushes the system and flushes the meat. Makes it act. It tastes like shit.
So bad, dude.
So they like you hear all this shit now. I'm not vegan. I'm not like pro. I definitely don't like to see animals get fucked with on purpose. Right. You know what I mean? But the way that they write their lyrics makes you really consider like where the fuck you eat.
Well, you know,
right? You know,
I'm not.
That's a really.
I'm not Muslim. I'm not Muslim or anything, but like the Muslim religion, you know, like they have this whole halal meat thing, which is like they bless this like animal before they kill it, which to me was always like very interesting because I was like,
awesome.
I thought it was cool because I was like, you know what, at least you're not like fuck you, boom, you know.
I've seen that.
Same here. I've seen those videos too.
We
watched that shit back in the day.
And we would go to the fucking slaughterhouse every 23rd. You know, to cook the pig for the 24th.
Yes.
And as a little kid, I would sit there and they'd pull the pig out and they would just smack it in the head with a fucking sledge. Dude, like they would tase it into an area.
She's smiling over there. She's like, fuck yeah. That's
they would tase it into an area, and I'm there, and it's just like, and you know, there would be a splash zone where you get fucking pelted with blood. It was
traumatizing.
I mean, that was my childhood.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, and speaking
like
of that,
every 23rd, it was like, kill it, kill it.
Well, to me, that's why I was kind of like, damn, you know, like people say as many goofy things about the like, you know, Islam religion, which there's things to criticize. I get it.
Yeah, but it has
all
nothing. The things that criticize have nothing to do with what they eat.
Right. But you know,
but let's be real. There's a lot to criticize about all religions.
All
right?
religions, all of them.
The idea. The idea about religion is that
controlling system.
Religion's man's idea on how to get to God. Whatever your definition of God is, that's what religion is.
Yep.
And if man himself is flawed, if man himself is flawed, who are they to tell us what it is to get to a higher power?
It's
so
the
method
Nike,
must be flawed.
To me, it's the Nike of spirituality.
Sure. Yeah, dude.
You know, it's just like, oh yeah, of course,
it's a brand.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, like they tell me I can jump higher.
It makes you. It makes you feel at peace.
Yeah.
And you know what? That works for people.
No.
If that works for you, hey, cool.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna hate you because, you know, whatever. You know, you do you.
Do it until you're like hurting somebody, because at that point it's like, you know, that's the part. That's the point where I get annoyed with those, you know, with the religion ideas, where you start stepping on other people because they don't.
Sure, but that's with anything, man.
Absolutely.
I feel like.
And you know what? And don't get me wrong. Let's take the religion out of it. You know, people do this with music elitists. You remember those back in the day?
Yeah.
Or even now, where they're like, you listen to that shit
right now, man.
Exactly. Like you listen.
It's
to
like
this
we
shit.
all have an opinion, but. Just, you know, because someone likes, you know, one thing or the other doesn't mean that they're a piece of shit or they're under you.
Yeah. Exactly. It's just everybody has a different way to get to what they want to do, and you know what, the whole food thing, you know what I mean, which is interesting. Yeah, like I eat plenty of meat as well, but at the same time, it's like you know, but at the same time, knowing how the process gets done, you know, I can see why some people support ideas more than others. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And I don't know, man. It all depends on what stance you want to take in life and whatever it is. But
man, I can't disagree with that.
No, of course, I got no problem with a mouthful of meat.
What the fuck?
It slithering down my throat.
Beef or not?
Whoa. Wait a second.
Hot dogs, sausage.
Never heard of them.
Never. But
Never heard of them.
What's the future for MekroniuM, man? What do you guys? So you guys got an album? Is there a live show we can catch pretty soon? Or you guys taking a break?
We're hoping to. Well, we want to finish this album first.
True.
Before we go and play something else.
Yeah.
So we're hoping within the next month, because we want to make it worth what we've been making people wait, you know, forever. So we want to make sure that it's where we all sign off on it and go, yes, this is exactly what we want to put out.
Yeah.
So we're hoping within the next month or so, you know, our drummer Kevin was like, oh, how about like a Christmas release? Something around there.
I like that.
You know, shove it under your tree.
Should do like that. What's that like scary version of Santa Claus? Not Klaus.
Krampus.
Krampus. Whatever the shit's called.
Krampus.
Crumping. Isn't that the dance? The stomping dance. Crumping. I don't know.
Crunk?
It is.
Crunking?
Crump.
It's a lot of this.
It's a lot of stomping. It's a lot of
that,
I don't have enough room. I don't have enough room. But it's a lot of that.
Look at him go, man.
Well, Louis said the guy from Five Finger. I already read that, but
yeah, easy.
What, he's a rapist? The singer or the?
Hopefully not.
No.
But,
the singer. Fuck that guy.
So what about music videos? Any music video ideas yet, or anything?
We have ideas for sure. Yeah.
Are they going to be gruesome?
I hope so.
Yeah, like I said, I'm very inspired by.
It's very visceral.
By cattle decapitations fucking videos.
You know, the goal has to be to get banned from YouTube.
Oh, for sure.
We're
gonna go on Pornhub.
Yeah,
that'd be sick, dude.
They're open to, from what I hear, they're open to videos like that. Like they're not just strictly for pornography.
There's actually a
band from Seven
Serpents. Yeah, I was gonna say this band.
Really cool band. Real cool band from West Palm Beach.
Seven Serpents.
Really cool dudes from West Palm Beach. We jam with them. Love the dudes from Seven Serpents.
Oh, cool.
And they put a video on Pornhub.
They put a video of theirs on Pornhub, and they have 100%
like rate or whatever.
Yeah. They're doing good.
That's amazing, man. Well, shout out to Seven Serpents. Hopefully, there's not 7 members of the band. So that
no. It's 5 dudes, man. They're awesome.
7, because then it would make more sense to put it on YouTube, on Pornhub. 7 Serpents. We got 7 members. Seven members itself is already an innuendo. Anyway,
well, no, they have 4.
No.
Yeah. because the guitarist is a singer.
Right. The guitarist is a singer. So there's 4 guys. Yeah, dude. So it's guitar, singer, another guitar player, bassist, and drummer.
Well, shout out, and
they fucking.
You're fucking good, and they got their shit on Spotify. Please check that band out. They're awesome.
the reason we're making the Pornhub joke, guys, more of the satire, guys. Put you behind the camera for a second. Upload your music to more places than just YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, YouTube wants to fucking destroy everything.
Yeah, so
YouTube only wants money, so they only want. I have our YouTube, which is just literally for me to, post fucking trash.
Yeah.
Or live videos or whatever.
Right.
YouTube sent me. Oh shit! Fuck. Hello.
Oh good.
I'm sorry.
Oh fuck, man.
Hello.
Never heard of him. But yeah.
Never heard. Well, YouTube sent me as a fucking small time nothing fucking YouTuber. Like, is your stuff family friendly? If so, do this or whatever.
That was this week, right?
Yeah. You got that too, right?
I did. Everybody got that. Now they classify your shit. Either you set your whole channel to be kid friendly or not, or per video you have to choose that setting.
That's fucking
we're not
annoying as fuck is what that sounds
friendly.
like.
And I'm not trying to be.
Sorry, can you put the
Uh-oh. That's okay. No problem, my love. Hey.
Holy shit, we're still there.
Okay.
Hello. But yes, kid friendly. Yeah, you guys are definitely not kid friendly. Neither is this show. That's right. It's, in a way, I put the warning in the beginning of the show as kind of like a fun thing, because when we grew up watching Jackass and those things, we saw that awesome warning in the beginning.
With the skull, with the crutches.
Yes. That's why
you knew you were gonna watch some fucked up shit.
Well, to me, I made my warning sign palm trees, so it's like, if you see the warning, it's like palm tree font.
Yeah, I love it. Dude.
I was like, fuck yeah, cool. Man. You know what I mean? Like, why not, dude? Let's have some fun, dude. To me, guys, and maybe we'll close the show out with this kind of sentiment really quick, but it's like, with the show, with the band, the reason why I and many other people were excited to have you guys on today is because they see you guys and possibly the show not giving a fuck.
Yeah,
that's what you need, man. When people play it safe, that shit's pretty lame, dude.
Yeah. No, for sure. And the way that I see it personally is, on top of, like, other than just being a musician, I love performing. I love entertaining. I want to entertain you. I want to make you feel something. I want you to see what I do as something worthwhile, something that you want to come see, because that's what I love.
And you've been doing it for 10 plus years, performing with
MekroniuM, it's been since 2015.
I mean, since we didn't talk about it, but even backyard wrestling.
Yeah. And I love it. I love that. LHW, we're on YouTube.
Shout out, David. We love you. But
vibe for real, dude. Yeah, dude.
You passed away on my birthday, unfortunately.
2008,
right?
Yeah.
11/6.
Yeah.
Fuck, we have a song called 11/6.
Yeah.
For that reason. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that it was a confusing day. It was my birthday. We were hanging out with some friends. We got this news.
Yeah.
Anyway, we love you, man. So yeah, it's tough, man. We what I love about this whole process, guys, is that we're not giving a fuck, but at the same time we're growing, we're having fun. Yeah. And when I say we, I mean as a collective, because it's cool for me as a show, to be able to have you guys on, because you guys are out there doing things. You guys inspire me. Hopefully, I inspire you guys to do shit.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we all work together. I think we need that as creatives. You know what I mean? Because we don't. Yeah.
Well,
what are we gonna relate to? The 9-to-5 guy?
Yeah, right,
man.
We look at each other's drive and we go, yes, we can all do this.
Exactly, man.
And that's what it's all about. Yeah. It's all about having a drive. It's all about wanting to do it. It's funny because you say
wanting. Yeah.
It's that you say that we look like we don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, we don't give a fuck about fitting in a box and fitting in a certain. We give a fuck about what we do as ourselves.
Yeah.
So we are, and that's why like people go, oh well, you guys sound like this or that or the other, or what do you sound like? It's like, don't really know.
You
have to listen to it.
You know what the thing is though, is that I don't have necessarily like a problem when people want to compare what we might sound like.
For sure. That's not bad. That's not bad. That's cool.
I don't feel like that's a problem with me.
I don't feel like I'm not trying to emulate anything personally. Yeah. I'm not trying to be like anything. This is what we feel. Music is all about feeling.
Yeah.
At least good music is all about feeling.
Absolutely.
So you wanna fit into it, because if it doesn't flow, then it's not gonna work.
I agree.
And if you feel like you can flow within that, which is what I feel like whenever he sends me something, I'm always like, oh, I love this, because it's I can jump into it. And then once we get fucking drums and bass and these other guys come in and they start playing, they give it this flavor and they give me something to flow on.
Definitely, definitely.
And that's what it's all about. It's all about what we feel. It's not about what we think other people should or want to feel or whatever. It's
And it's about moving people, man. We gotta move people. Like,
I want to entertain people for sure, but it's first and foremost is that we feel what we're doing. Because if it's not genuine, then it's bullshit.
There was a lot of times where there was one song that we have that it's called it's called Kill Yourself. And the thing about that song was that it came together during a time where members were coming in and going. Remember that?
Yeah.
And it was a riff that I had that was very simple, just stupid simple, but the way that I heard it in my head wasn't being executed with other people. So then people coming and going kind of made it feel like, fuck, man, like this isn't coming together. For a while, it was played as how it is. Or how it was, I should say, and it did fine. People interpreted it like that song is fucking heavy, and I'm like, but for me, I'm like, fuck, I can't fucking feel that song out. I just can't. For some reason, I couldn't.
It needs more.
It wasn't until we played our last show at Churchill's when me personally, when I hear the video played back and I heard
that video's on our YouTube. Check it out.
Yeah, the 2 new members, and I heard the way that they played that song, and I was like, fuck. That's what was missing. It was just like this. Not that there was something miss. It just felt like there was a lot missing. But I remember there was, Lucha does his shit with his bass. Fucking Kevin does his shit with his drums. And you might disagree with how it sounds like now, but to me it just sounds more lively. It sounds like there's a
lot more to it.
Yeah, it's not just some shit that was pieced together. And I don't know what I'm getting to this point, but I just feel...
It sounds more complete to you.
Yeah, everybody's bringing life to each...
It sounds more put together, and what I thought was a shitty fucking thing, people were able to relate
I always
to
love the
it.
song, too.
Yeah, to me it sounded like a shitty thing, and people...
I always push, dude, no, let's keep doing it.
You did.
Well, you can hear confidence, though. You can hear that. That's a feeling that you can hear, and when people, when something's played a certain way, and when what I mean, all the pieces are together.
I can't tell you that I knew that it was gonna sound like the way it does now, which is my favorite. But I felt like that song had a lot of potential with the riff. Like he says that it's a super simple riff. It's a crushing riff.
Yeah.
So as simple as it might be, it works. Things don't need to be super technical to be good.
Yeah.
How many times have we seen a one-punch knockout?
Exactly.
I see what you mean. I see what you mean.
I love those videos. Those videos are awesome. It's all about what it is, as opposed to who gives a fuck if you got all this technique. If you have this sound in that song, that's one of my favorite songs of what we do, because it has that fucking primitive, like primal rage and that crunch and that it just, as simple as it might be, is heavy as a fuck.
Well, you use the word primal, which goes right along with simple, which I love it.
Yeah.
But as long as it makes you fucking feel, because he
sounds unga bunga. Fuck.
Again, as long as he may say that it sounds simple, people come up to me after shows and say, I feel like punching somebody in the face.
Well, you know what?
Awesome,
I was just about to say that, you know what? It's a mentality thing, and I think everybody's doing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Even if it is simple, you find it to be that one punch knockout where you're kind of like, of course I could knock him out with one punch, but let me fuck him up. You know?
Yeah, exactly. That's what he does.
So I get it.
And then you slap on what Lucha does with the bass, and he fills all this other area, and then Kevin just comes in and
everybody hears it differently. You know what I mean? Everybody stop.
Sorry.
Everybody hears it differently, and they pick up different things about it, and they just kind of interpret it in their own way. And I think that's.
It's like, okay, so
put it this way.
So put it this way. The riff, the crunchy riff is like Danny made this really tight sculpted muscular body, and then Lucha comes in and he's rubbing and caressing, the V right there, right above the root,
the dick root,
and the dick root, and Kevin comes in and he's just kissing all over his neck.
Shit, we're getting interface.
He's kissing all over his neck. He's just doing his thing, and then I come over and I slide my erection straight into his mouth between his pursed lips, and it's just this thing. It's this thing that then people are like, Jesus Christ, I like it. You know,
just fucking let it go on my face.
Let it go on my face. Put it this way.
No, you're too late now.
Put it this way. The music must be good.
You're lucky I got a condom on right now.
That shit is full. It's as full as my diaper right now, I would imagine. Dude, the music
What's it
must...
full of?
Feces.
Full of happiness.
The music must be engaging because the people that come out to watch our shows have no problem getting rained with broken glass.
Yeah.
And they stand right up against the stage and they don't give a fuck. They don't know what's gonna happen, and they're just so engaged with what's going on, and they're moving and they're into it, and that makes me the happiest ever.
Yeah.
I could fucking leave right now and wrap my car around a tree.
It's really,
I'll be able to die and go, fuck, man, what I did on that stage meant something to someone.
Dude,
enough to them come out and go, hey, man,
the last video
I'm here to see you again.
The last video one of the videos that we have, man, was of one of the, I don't know if you have the song in there, man. Maybe it's too late to play it.
We'll outro it, yeah.
Yeah, but there was you can't really tell, at least I can't really tell, like how many people are into what we're doing because I just can't see. Because of all the fog and the lights and shit.
That's okay.
So I just assume we have I assume we have a crowd. But then whenever we got back to live video and you see like how many people were there, you're like, holy, what the fuck, man?
You
like,
see that at the beginning, you kill yourself.
Yeah.
Like the camera looks out and everybody's just waiting for it. I love
that's
that
a really good panned out video because like you see me and Kevin, and then the camera comes out and it's just people and they're just like this.
Do we have is that in the YouTube lineup?
It is.
Earlier?
It's Kill Yourself.
Maybe,
But yeah,
do we
dude.
outro it to that then?
Yeah, fuck yeah, let's do that because I fucking think it's cool because when I saw that video, I didn't see that. I didn't see the
Yeah,
people. I'm in here. I'm jamming with my friends. That's what I'm doing at the moment. And then, fucking seeing that video, I was just like, God damn, dude, there was that many people there. That many people were just like,
it gives you that drive.
Yeah.
You know, we want to go. Like it's not the thing of, oh man, all these people came out. No, I want to come out and I want to play for these people. Yeah. I want them to want to be able to come out and see something, because. You know when you've seen something that you really enjoy and you appreciate that, and you go, man, I want to go and see it again. I want to give people that, and I want to be able to do it, and I love doing it. So why not?
Yeah, I mean, no, I'm with you, man. And
that's why I'm happy to have found this guy because
absolutely
he drives me to be able to fucking.
Well, I can see that both of you tap into a part of each other's personality that both of you won't go yourself.
Oh, that's stupid.
We're married.
They're gonna have to suck each other off on the way home. But
he's gonna get a mouthful of piss. I'm holding it. I don't want to get up and leave.
As if he wanted anything else. But
spoiler alert, I'm not really wearing a diaper. But I did shit myself.
He's been pissing in your desk chair, bro.
Dude, this thing is soaked. It's got a cushion.
Oh my god, I'm excited. We could sell it on eBay in a couple of years. That's gonna be, we could sell it on eBay right now.
To some sick bastard that likes water sports.
Suck your piss out of them.
Hey, you know what? One of the bands. Shout out to Absolver. One of the bands we had on the show.
Fuck yeah, dude!
I love those dudes, man.
Absolver.
And they love you guys.
Chris's.
They love you guys. You know, they actually had somebody the Chris's. They actually had somebody. One of their listeners actually wanted to be eaten alive, and they actually reached out to him, and there was a whole story.
I watched that episode.
Yeah, we saw clips of that video at Chris's house. I don't know if we should say that. If not, sorry, dude. But Chris Lombardo, like
that's awesome.
Chris Lombardo's a cool ass dude.
He's a fucking cool dude, man. Love that dude. That guy's awesome, and they're all great. They're very much influenced and named after a band that I love called Dragged Into Sunlight.
Whoa.
One of my favorite fucking bands, dude. That's a band that came from like the British like hardcore early 2000s, and they just sound like this stoner sludge doom
more
black
wall
metal.
of sound.
Just you want to hear Wall of Sound? Listen to Dragged Into Sunlight. Buried with Leeches.
What's that other band?
Or Volcanic Birth. What?
Sun or
Dragged Into Sunlight?
No. It's the S.
Sunfuck Fest?
Oh no! What the fuck is that one band? Where everything is like filled with smoke and
Dragged Into Sunlight.
Oh, it's Dragged Into Sunlight.
Yeah. Where they have the deer antlers and shit on stage.
I'm like dancing.
I feel you, man. I feel you, man.
Yeah, that's Dragged Into Sunlight.
I'm with you.
I know. No, I'm literally about to piss myself.
Go for it, man. Go for it, bro. I feel you, man. I was the breaking point earlier.
Yeah, dude. I'm about to go a second time here in a second.
I feel you, man. How do you like your time on Shut Up Let's Talk so far, man?
I like the length.
Thanks, man.
I like the length, dude. This is good because it gives you time to like run out of shit to say.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, it's about expressing yourself, dude. Like to me, like, you know, I like to get it all out. I'll take one more, please, my love.
Good.
You know, I don't know, man. To me, like I said, I love having fun on the show. I like when we can all get past it. And you know what? Like, I don't know, man. There's so much that we can all relate on. Doesn't matter what the fuck you do.
Yeah.
You could be. Oh, that's amazing. You know what? Just look this way. But how do you call it? You know, it's amazing, man. At the end of the day, even somebody who's dirt poor and somebody who's madly rich could probably relate to something.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't matter what it is. They could both be having the worst day in the world, and it'll be different, but it'll be the same. Because they both know the feeling, even if the feeling is different. Anyway.
Yeah. No, we're getting deep now.
Hey, well, I'm just, you know, like, to me, it's fun, man, because we all get to hang out, and we all get to have a great time. And it's fun, man. I love it.
Joe's awesome.
He is a good one, man. And you know, shout out to you guys, man, because like I said earlier on the show, man, everybody loves your guys' live, and they love your vibe. They love what you guys stand for. And like I said, maybe you guys don't have an album out yet. Maybe there's no videos out yet. But at the same time, the hype is the most exciting thing. I
think that's awesome, dude. Because like I think you're the first person to ever tell me like the hype. But we definitely do get a lot of oh my god, like I can't wait. The last show for me was like really eye opening.
Where was that at?
At Churchill's. Sweet. It's with a video from Vapid that you just heard.
Nice.
And it felt really neat because there was a lot of people that, not a lot, because that's several people that had our shirts on. There was people that had came like one dude fucking came up to me. He's because my vest has like my fucking the band name on it.
Oh, hell yeah.
He taps me on the shoulder and he's like, "Oh, MekroniuM, right?" And I go, "Yeah." He's like, "Did you guys play yet?" And I'm like, "No, man, we were going in another hour or whatever." He goes, "Oh, good, man, because I walked from Wynwood to Churchill's to come see you."
Walked.
Yeah, there were a couple of people. There were a couple of people that came out that night. They were hanging out elsewhere. There were actually a handful of people that were hanging out elsewhere, and we're like, we saw that you guys were playing, and they came out, but the fucking show was absurdly behind and just poorly run.
They still stay behind, and it sucks. But no shit to the bands that played after us. But once we were done, everybody left.
Dude,
there was 5 people.
I mean, it was 2:00 in the morning.
Wow.
So what do you expect?
But you guys played that. They made you. Sorry, they placed you in a situation where you had to play that late.
We were supposed to play. We were supposed to play at 11:30. Then it went to 12:30, and then it ended up being 1:30.
Yeah.
And then it was like,
Not cool,
what?
guys,
okay,
cool.
Whatever. But the moral of the story is that a lot of fucking awesome people came out
and they stayed
to see us and stayed. And as much as I was frustrated because I don't like that shit, people were like, "You guys haven't gone on yet? Okay, we're waiting."
Yeah, that was really cool, man.
So then we went up there. And
really cool.
We poured everything out there because these people fucking waited. We want to make sure that they left.
They were there for you.
Yes.
It's fucking amazing.
Yeah, dude,
I love that. That shit is awesome. It feels really good.
It's too cool because, everything all the songs that we have now, except for maybe 1 or 2, about 2. Everything else was written by mostly guitar-wise me. It was the inception early was from a guitar, and of course like the new guys that we got definitely gave their flavor to it.
The album that we're putting out, the EP it's all the guitar is written by Danny.
Right, it's all the guitars, and then like the bass is done by Lucha, and then Kevin's drums are done by Kevin. But
it's an amazing drummer, by the way.
He's a fucking sick drummer.
Saw this footage you posted up the other day. Bro, the guy was killing it, dude.
He's awesome.
It wasn't on like an electric kit.
Yeah,
killing it,
dude. I listened back to some of the songs from that night, and I'm like, Jesus Christ,
he's tearing it up, dude.
Yeah,
like he's on point.
Sorry, not to interrupt you guys. I know they couldn't join us tonight, but shout out to Kevin and Lucha.
Oh yeah,
buddies. What's up, man?
Shout out to you guys.
I printed out fucking pictures of the 2 of them. And I didn't bring them because I wanted to put them like up here somewhere where they could be with us, and I fucking forgot them.
They're fucking awesome dudes.
But
life just.
But the whole thing I'm trying to get to is that like everything starts with like an idea, a riff, just you noodling around your guitar, but then it somehow turns and morphs into something that other people are like, I fucking came to see that. To me, it's like I was in my underwear or gym shorts, and it was me, my guitar, and like a little amp or my headphones, and
semen.
And semen stains everywhere. And then somehow that turns into when it goes through the filters and the processors of the rest of my bandmates, it turns into what someone else wants to listen to over and over again.
It turns into a full.
Yeah, so like to me, when someone's like, I came to hear you guys, I'm like, you mean that shit I wrote when I was on the couch naked at 2 in the morning? You want to hear
that can't take away from it, though.
To me, no. But
it's a part of something bigger.
But that's
about how you felt in your underwear that day.
You know exactly.
To me, it's the shit.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
Thank you.
I'm about to start taking a leak. I got about to take a leak too. Yeah. But I think that the whole point is that like, it's cool that what's started really small, once it goes through like its passes and it goes through its the rest of the guys, it turns into like this really cool thing. You know, it's like to quote Michael Fassbender in Prometheus, when he's like, holding the little alien goop, and he's like, he's like, great things have small beginnings or some shit like that.
Yeah, absolutely. A seed.
Yeah, and I'm just like, that's
the band.
That's amazing. That's perfect. That's it. That's the band. That's the songs. That's what it is. It starts from nothing. And then the thing is like there's like 4 or 5 other songs that I have on my iPad that are like ready to go as far as I'm concerned, that I just show them and then they put their spin on it.
Well,
that we just haven't gotten to yet because we want to focus on this first.
We want to focus on this. We want to put this out.
There's a lot of
there's
shit that is out there, or that I have that I want to put out there because I want other people to hear it.
So
I want to hear.
We're ready. This band is just starting.
I want to hear that. I want to hear that talk of, I liked the old shit better. No, I like the new shit better. Well, why? I want to hear that.
Those are healthy conversations.
I want to hear that conversation.
This will be the first shit.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
I want to hear that. I want to hear
the first shit, which is MekroniuM, which is MekroniuM.
Okay, so about that. Dude. So about that.
What you did there.
So I was
shit, man.
What was it? The original name was supposed to be MekroniuM.
Go for it.
But then I looked at I like to do research when I come up with things like that, and so I was like, man, let me make sure there isn't a band. So it was a band in Sweden from like 2007 to 2011, something like that. That was named, that was named MekroniuM. Oops.
Oh, good.
So I was like, nah, I don't want to use somebody else's name. So then Jay at the time that helped me, pick this up off of the ground. He's like, dude, let's throw an R in there. And I was like, holy shit, because originally I wanted to already do it with a K, MekroniuM.
Oh, cool.
So then he goes, let's throw an R in there. I'm like, okay, let's do that. Then it became MekroniuM. And it was like,
sounds great.
Let's keep that.
It's got a ring to it. No, it's got a real nice ring to it, man. And it makes you think, somebody in the comments when I posted the flyer earlier today, they were like, shout out to Neeson. He was like, I thought it said MekroniuM, which I was getting worried. I was like, it's probably based off of that.
It was actually. So I have 2 kids. So my firstborn, was when I first heard of MekroniuM, which is, I don't know if you're familiar with it.
I've received it.
First shit
at my job many times.
Shit you take.
Yes, it is.
When you're born, and
it's got like placenta,
it's black and tar looking.
I've seen it. Yeah, it's got like bless you.
So
how ironic, right?
So I remember being like, man, I like how it's nasty. But it's something,
it's pure.
Something close to me, and it's something, it's real. My son fucking did it.
Yeah.
I changed that diaper. Bless you. I changed that fucking tar-looking diaper,
Yeah. No, dude. And I work at a laboratory, and I've received MekroniuM many times because they have it as a testing thing. They test it. So it's like, I've received it, and I remember receiving it that's 2011. And yeah, when I saw the name, I was like, wait a minute. And I was like, oh, this is Joe's band, of course.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's beautiful to me because how do I describe this, man? It's really full circle to me because I know that the band has taken a while because you've been through so many things. What I love is the fact that you stay persistent with it. So
because this is what I love, man.
And you can't break that, dudes. The reason why they call it true love is because that's something that does not break.
No, it never does.
When you see that passion for you and your band, you can tell that there's puppy love and there's true love and there's many different forms of love. That's the true, that's the one that you just don't want to give up on it.
No, and I fucking love this. And I love every single person who supports us. I love every single person who comes out and sees us and says, that they enjoy it, because those are the people who allow us, who give us the drive to continue doing this. We'll never stop.
No.
But what gets us to leave our house and go somewhere that half the time doesn't fucking pay us and has shitty fucking system is the people who are going to be standing there. We want to go. We want to play for them. We want to bring these songs to them and go, this is our band. This is who we are. If you enjoy it, thank you. And here you go.
I love it, man. And you know what? Let's go ahead and close out on this sentiment really quick because I think it'll bring us full circle. When I got my cat for the first time, he was 2 weeks old. This cat, he's a little fucking smudge. You know what I mean? He's nothing. Like I had to give him formula. Not even like he was still drinking milk.
Yeah.
No food yet. I had to give him, and then he didn't take his first shit. So I had to make this cat take its first shit, and so and with with your kids that you were saying about a second ago, you see them take this first shit. It is, and what's funny to me, the name of your band, MekroniuM, it's the first shit, right? The first poop, right?
Sure is.
Up until the time that my cat took his first shit, right? I was afraid he was not healthy. Because I was like, you want to make sure that he's got his function, everything's functioning.
Yeah.
And it's funny because you're so proud of that first shit, and to me, I want your first album to be that same way because to me, it's not the first shit, but you get what I'm trying to say.
First shit.
No, trust me.
You want to know it's healthy,
and that's one thing. That's one thing that I hope people can look forward to is that what we want to put out is something that we're proud of, that we feel proud enough to go. This is everything that we want for you to listen to. This is everything that we've ever wanted for ourselves. Because this is a dream. This is a dream for us. We've always, I used to go fucking 10 years ago, go watch this guy fucking play at a church. At a church. In his fucking post.
Fellowship
Hall.
Yes. Yeah. Hell yeah. You were there.
I was literally performing there.
That's, hell yeah, man. Like that.
Good times.
This is our dream. From the days when I personally used to sit there and fucking sing Bee Gees and Queen and Louis Armstrong, I used to sit there and record myself acting like I was what I am today.
And you are.
And I love it.
Because you made yourself that.
I love going out there and doing this because it's everything that I've ever wanted. And thank you to everybody who comes out because you are helping give me and Danny everything that we've ever wanted. You're giving Alizar everything he's ever wanted by watching.
It's true.
And without you, without people wanting it, we would just be in our rooms doing it.
Yeah, bedroom warriors, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And again, I don't mind that because this inside of me will never die. I fucking love music. I love performing. I love doing it. Yeah. But if you give me a stage, I'm gonna fuck myself up on it for everybody and anyone to see.
Oh, you fucking dude.
I'm so sorry. I'm just really excited right now.
Episode 102, guys. Shut up, let's talk, guys. Joined along here with MekroniuM tonight, man.
Goosebumps on my dick.
Jesus Christ.
Like every good storybook. Joined along here tonight, guys, with Joe from MekroniuM. Where can they go ahead and follow you at tonight, man?
Instagram. Just type in MekroniuM. You can Google MekroniuM. MEKRONIUM. And we will be the first thing to show up, and we're the only thing because it's a made up fucking word.
Yes.
Which actually, I think it's like a word that's used like in Russia. I think
it's literally
no collusion.
Can't miss it.
It's spelled the way that it's spelled the way it sounds. So just type that shit in. MekroniuM.
Danny from MekroniuM. Where can they follow you at, my man?
The what?
Where can they follow you at?
I run the Facebook page. Joe runs the IG page. It's literally again same shit. MekroniuM. Google MekroniuM.
Do that.
Yeah, you don't want to follow my regular life. It's stupid. No. Not that it's stupid because I love my wife. I love my kids. They're all awesome. That's not what I meant. It's just like follow the band because.
Couch vibes.
Because I don't want people fucking following my shit anyways. Unless I know you. Like I don't give a fuck about you.
That's awesome.
You following my personal page.
Yeah, whatever, dude. I always post on the Facebook page. Not always. I post whatever's relevant. Definitely, we don't fill your ear with bullshit and false advertisements. Like if something comes up about the band,
it'll be there.
And just show up.
Well, you know what? There's got to be a part 2, and later on, part 2 of this episode, we'll talk about algorithms and fuss on.
Post EP, that'd be sick.
Oh, absolutely.
If you're down, we would love to come back once that's all good and go, because we want people to hear it. And
please,
yeah,
I would love that. That'd be amazing. And every episode needs a part 2, guys. So in the meantime, folks, if you guys want to follow me, it's at Alizar Chain. If you guys want to follow the show, it's at Shut Up Let's Talk all over the interweb, the webosphere, the globus, whatever. Feel free to follow us on the Googles.
You're so good at that.
I've said it too many times. I mean, I never heard of him. I guess at this point I've said it over 100 times. So if I'm not,
That's literally.
if I wasn't good at it, then I'd have
said
to
it
be
at least
stupid.
100.
It's midnight. I gotta wake up in a couple hours. Let's
Yeah,
go,
man.
people.
Definitely, folks. So thank you so much for hanging out tonight, folks. If you guys want to follow us, do all that. Love, peace, chicken grease. Look both ways before you cross the street.
Peace.
Out.
We'll catch you later.
Fuck this microphone.